Oh shit. I'm so dumb. We're live now.
We can hit it still. We can hit the intro.
Can we? Okay.
Let's do it.
We should do, yeah, here we go. Just call make it fun.
Hey,
I haven't been here in
everyone.
like 3 weeks, so I'm just like, oh, I just pressed the live button, right? That's how this works.
Hey everyone, how you doing?
Here we go.
Welcome to the show.
This is actually a better way to do it. Cold open, then we're just like talking, rambling, and then we hit the intro.
I like that.
We got to do like an SNL like opening. Ready? Think of something that we could all say together.
Welcome to
Ready?
Leftist
3, 2.
Mafia. This is Saturday Night Live.
That's terrible.
Thursday Night Live, at least. Wait, have we been live this whole entire time?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're live
Oh
right
my
now.
god!
I'm waiting. No, we
just
just
the
we
past,
went
like,
live like
minute.
10 seconds
Yeah.
ago. But I'm waiting
Okay.
to hit.
They heard what you said,
like
Ariana.
3, 2, 1.
I didn't say.
The
I'll say everything I said
Democrats.
again.
No, I don't want to do the intro like that. Here, live
Like the
from
aristocrats,
everywhere.
that's
It's
what I mean.
Thursday night. Now?
What?
Now.
Cancel culture is about canceling.
Up yours. Woke moralists. Up yours.
Systematic bullying that's happening.
And they believe that they
Never had a gun, but it's the wax that the Terminator X spun. Now they got me in a cell cause my records they sell. Cause a brother like me said, well,
Born like this, it's born like this, immaculate conception. I transform like this, perform like this, which else you a new weapon. I don't contemplate, I meditate, then off your head. This that puts against the bed, this that I got realness, I just push, cause it's in my DNA. I got millions, I got riches building in my DNA. I got gunk, I got evil that rot inside my DNA. I got off, I got trouble, some heart inside my DNA.
They seem animalistic is what I mean.
No, they're worse than animals.
The woke mob, they ruin everything.
They stopped Ben Shapiro from going to events and speaking. They stopped Ann Coulter from doing it.
I will never surrender even a single inch of ground to a pitchfork mob.
You never cave to the mob.
We will never bow to the mob. Ever. No matter what.
Do you see the final expression of cancel culture in terrorist groups like
We'll see who cancels who. They want you to comply.
You know what? I think we should do the cold open on a regular basis.
Yeah, I think that worked pretty well.
It's
Actually.
actually
like
pretty.
it.
If we just cut the black off the beginning of that intro, it'd be pretty
Yeah.
sweet.
What
was the
Yeah.
cold open?
I pressed live. I haven't been here like 3 weeks, so I forgot. I just pressed live, not realizing I didn't press the intro first. So
Oh,
okay. we were live, and then I played the intro.
You know what
Oh,
probably happened last time we streamed just 2 days ago. We didn't need the intro, so I bet it wasn't queued up.
Yeah,
That was
so I
actually
just
Yeah.
wasn't.
how it worked.
I wasn't
Right.
thinking about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
what were you guys talking about? What did I miss?
We were actually talking about you, Lance.
Right.
Oh no!
Shit. It's
Right.
not working out. This.
But I wasn't even there last week or
Yeah.
on Tuesday. Come on.
After your awesome guest that we were going to have fell through, Lance not
Yeah.
working anymore.
We have to
It's
punish
because
you
you're
for that.
Canadian. It's because you're
Yeah.
Canadian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As Americans,
Right.
we have to go to war with the Canadian.
Wait, David,
side
why are
of
you
the
saying
panel.
yeah?
Because
Well,
they're
he's
calling me
honorary-
one.
He's
Your Canadian rules.
Is it weird that as an American, I'm trying to buy Canadian as well? Like, I want to
Oh.
be part of it.
well.
Oh, good
Folks,
for
we
you.
had
I'm
an
buying
announcement to
Mexican right
make.
now.
Ariana
Mexican
was
too, yeah.
kicked out of the show live right now. She's no longer.
Just gone.
She didn't like that anti-Canadian slander. She just left.
Standing up
Yeah.
for.
Sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on.
Thanks
She's
for
trying
standing
to
up
do
for
the
me,
silent
Ariana.
exit like Democrats at the joint address.
Jesus.
Don't you dare! Don't you dare say anything negative about.
Yeah, the
our
resistance is
Democrats.
resisting right now. Okay, they're
Yeah,
resisting
leave them
hard.
alone.
I've never seen
All
such
right?
resistance.
I just realized I just missed my opportunity to like tape resist on my back and just like leave the show. like turn around, and just walk out.
You have to have a
Don't you
little
dare-
bingo sign too, you know?
Yeah.
A little-
We need to get a bunch of
on a
those.
popsicle stick.
Don't you dare criticize Dems, Mike.
Whenever
David,
Matt Binder
Ariana.
talks, just like hold up
Lance.
your signs. Fake news.
Yeah.
Ooh, or liar, because that's what Neera
Liar.
Tanden called me the other day.
And this
Oh.
is
Neera Tanden called you a liar?
She called me a liar.
You're not
Based on-
blocked by
for
Neera
what?
Tanden?
No,
I'm
of course
blocked.
not.
I've been
No,
blocked for
no.
years.
Oh, you didn't see that the night of the right after we stopped being live on that night of Trump's speech, I was the main character on weird centrist Dem Twitter.
I did
What?
not see
I
this.
did not
I was
see
sleeping,
this.
so-
I didn't see that.
Because I quoted.
Nice to give Ariana a break.
I paraphrased, I guess, according to them. I quoted Senator Slotkin's glazing of Reagan, and I put that it was the response to the Democratic. It was the Democratic response to Trump's speech, and then I quoted her as saying, "I'm glad." I was a Cold War kid. I'm glad Ronald Reagan was president then. And I assumed, being that the context was the Trump speech, and because, you truncate things on social media, I felt like the context was there that she was obviously comparing it to Trump. And they took it as me just saying that she was just out of the blue, just saying how much she loved Reagan, and it wasn't a comparison with Trump. But B...
Oh, please.
But B, so that aside, that's my reasoning for putting that part of the quote. But B, she was absolutely glazing Reagan.
Oh, yeah, she was.
The second half is unnecessary in terms of like, it didn't make her speech mean anything different. She was absolutely fangirling Ronald Reagan, no doubt about it. Sure, in comparison to Trump, but it's still fangirling Ronald Reagan. But
great strategy.
Then someone said how Ronald Reagan is nothing like Trump. Ronald Reagan was hard on Russia. Well, first of all, the big problem here is a lot of these people have no idea. They did not realize that the USSR fell back in the 90s, and that the USSR and Russia aren't the same country, and that the Russia of today is not a communist country, and that it is a capitalist society, an oligarchy run by a fucking autocratic dictator in Putin. They think it's one and the same, as you can see whenever they go, Comrade Trump. So with that, so then I replied to that person, Reagan and Trump are the same. They would have handled the Cold War the same. And Neera Tanden came in. You liar! You lie. That's what riled her up. You liar!
Wow.
You lie. And then all of her buddies came in, all of her centrist Dem friends calling me a liar. How stupid I am. It's the most ahistorical thing they've ever heard in their life. If Donald Trump was around in the 80s, if he was around during that political era, he would have been calling the USSR a bunch of commies. Are you kidding me? We see how he treats China. We see how he treats Cuba. We see how he treats Venezuela. He would without a doubt be calling the USSR a bunch of commies. He would not be siding with the Soviet Union. Give me a fucking break.
Yeah, just give it a decade or two, and all of these same liberals are going to be glazing up Donald Trump. Whoever we elect the next fascist in a couple of, elections down the line, if we have elections still, they're going to be like, even Donald Trump wouldn't have stooped to this level. Like, this is what they do. They hate,
How much
then
further
they glaze.
can you go? I just like trying to picture what. Like, I know you can go further, but like
we can go further, David.
But,
You know us.
I'm not.
Also,
but in my mind, Trump can be that person that goes further. There doesn't need to be anybody else.
Yeah.
Just to add to that, though, like the history of that, like it's on record that like Gorbachev actually liked, apparently, according to people who were in Reagan's orbit, this is on the record, Reagan treated Gorbachev as an equal. And Gorbachev liked that. Like, he talked him up in their meetings and everything, treating him like an equal. You don't think Trump does the same thing with these leaders when he's in the room with them? They're the same person. Reagan gave them the respectability politics that they like. He would have given that. They're slightly different in terms of, you know, their presentation. But give me a break. Trump, Reagan, same person. If Reagan was alive today, he'd be lining up with MAGA. Give me a fucking break.
Yeah. Yeah, 1000%.
I think but what's more important is why the fuck glaze Reagan at all? He's one of the reasons for so much of the world's problems today. Like, like, you know, him, Thatcher, fucking glazing Pinochet, fucking pushing neoliberalism, destroying unions, all that kind of stuff. Like, this entire thing is ridiculous. Is this the new wing of the Democrats? You know, for Gavin?
It's what they've been doing forever. They have this idea that they got to appeal to Republicans. Like that's what Democrats do. How can I win Republicans over and then lose the election when they all vote for the Republicans?
You don't get that on the other end.
That's all they fucking do all the time.
There is no right wing. We should reach to the center and find out where we meet halfway.
Yeah.
It just keeps pushing the Overton window further and further right until they're on like, hey, doing Nazi fucking salutes is okay, and then you want to meet them halfway, like now, fucking keeping doing that over and over and over.
The Washington D.C. center is way, way, way to the right. Like, it's further right than Reagan on several issues. Like it is on immigration, at least. Like there's issues where it's just things have moved so far to the right, yet they're still trying to find this magical center, which is just right wing politics.
I mean, why would anyone vote for a diet Republican?
Yeah, exactly.
Reagan would be following. Reagan would be following the modern day Republican Party. Just like Trump, if you dropped him, the Trump of today in the 80s into that political era, he would be following whatever that, you know, with his own like personality and taste. But they would obviously adjust because they're both opportunists. They were both full-blown opportunists.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish that she didn't block me so that way I can reply to her. Reagan is dead. I hope you cry yourself to sleep every single night knowing that right now he's in hell and the devil is poking him right now and he's crying. It hurts so bad. He's in pain and agony. He's in hell right now, Nira. I can't say that.
To be fair, though, he wouldn't even know it because he had such bad dementia. He wouldn't even realize he was being tortured in hell.
The George Bush that Democrats love so much because he is buddies with Michelle Obama and said something like, hey, Trump's weird, ain't he? Something like that. And that made them love him for some reason. That George fucking Bush couldn't even bring himself to endorse Kamala. I mean, give me a break. Like, and give me a break. Give me a break.
I hate these people. I go through the motions of hating like different people in the country each week. Sorry, go ahead.
The only reason Dick Cheney endorsed Kamala was because Trump hates his daughter. That's the reason there. We all know how Dick Cheney feels about his daughter. He did a 180 on LGBTQ rights once his daughter came out.
And then Liz Cheney, she threw her own sister under the bus, who is a lesbian, so she could advance her political career after accepting her lesbian sister, by the way. So, yeah, this is the kind of person that we're talking about. These are the people that Democrats love because they would much rather have the Liz Cheneys and the George W. Bushes of the world enter the party so they don't need to rely on us for votes. Unfortunately for them, we just learned, again, that you actually do need your base to win these elections, but now it's kind of too late. But like I've been going through like this phase where one day I'll really hate Donald Trump and then the next day I'll hate Elon Musk. Today it's the Democrats, baby. They've got all my ire and I hate them so fucking much. I cannot put into words the hatred that I have. If you can like somehow harness this hatred, you can power the entire continental United States with it.
We have honestly like pulled our punches on the Democrats over the past couple of months. We have absolutely been super easy on them. Fuck, I was standing for Al Green the other night. Al Green is not a fucking leftist. He's like, you know, he's a better than usual Democrat. He's a left of center Democrat.
I wouldn't say center. He hasn't gotten paid out by AIPAC at all.
Well, left of center, but yes, okay.
I'd say more.
I didn't know that about him. Let's
put it this way: he's not.
He's taking no money from AIPAC at all. I did not know that.
Yeah, he's always been more of like a sort of progressive Democrat. but he's not like a leftist or anything.
He's very low key, but he's definitely like in line with the more progressive people like Ilhan Omar and Jasmine Crockett. Actually, I would say he's more left than Jasmine Crockett because he actually hasn't gotten paid out by AIPAC, and he was one of the first people. Well, not one of the first people, but he was like one of the first dozens to call for a ceasefire too. So I wouldn't say he's center. I don't think that's fair.
But he's not the squad.
You
he's
could
not
be worse
like
than
the
him,
leftist.
Basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm happy to hear about the AIPAC money. That is good. That is good.
Al Green is someone we can be in a party with and work with.
I have an image that I want to share with you all. I'm gonna put it up on the screen. 1 second here. These are the 10 Democrats who voted with fascists to censure Al Green for being the one Democrat to stand up and challenge Donald Trump when he was lying.
Did you see the statement by Tom Sozi where he was like, if we do Swazi, sorry, if we do an eye for an eye, it'll just lead to the whole world being blind. And I was like, you can't do the Gandhi thing when they are stabbing you in the eyes. Like if the other side is stabbing you, you can't be like, hey, we got to take the high road here, okay? If
that's
we
like
all
saying
stab each other,
can't go to war with the Nazis because it's just going to devolve. Like, no, you got to fight the evil
so fast. Come on,
you got to fight the
slippery slope.
I mean, the whole when they go low, we go high thing has been a colossal failure, and yet we have 10 Democrats who are. They're trying to respect norms. I guess that's their justification. Although some of these people, like Jared Moskowitz, by the way, in the center there, he voted to censure Rashida Tlaib as well. So I don't know why these folks are even in the Democratic Party. Just join the Republicans. I mean, you're already licking their assholes. Why don't you just join the fucking party already? You're censuring your own colleague. Can you imagine if Democrats chose to censure Marjorie Taylor Greene? How many Republicans would join them to censure one of their own, even the worst
Lauren
of the worst?
Boebert. Only Lauren Boebert.
Yeah, it's so pathetic. So listen,
I want a personal feud, to be clear.
Yeah, that's a personal feud. It's not along political lines.
I'm recommending that you all take a screenshot of this, call their offices, and politely voice how angry you are with them. As somebody who is a tax-paying citizen, you are entitled to let them know that what they're doing is disgusting, and you are embarrassed by their behavior. I will make some calls right now on screen.
Can you show us how to do it, Mike? I can
show you how to do it.
Call example.
Yeah.
Can you get real?
I can. Yeah, let's do it. All right. So I'm gonna
remember
call.
What you said. Remember what you said, Mike. Respectfully. Voice.
Yeah, respectfully voice.
But would you like me to?
Being like threatening and mean is also not going to work. Like it's
and that's illegal. They want to hear. Don't do that. But
I think that
we could sing "We Shall Overcome" in the background if you would like.
It's not so much that we believe in respectability politics. It's that we don't want Mike to have a visit from the FBI live on stream. It would be good for our numbers, without a doubt. But
listen, the way that these Democrats in particular, you can read them like a book. They're so easy. You need to play the pearl clutching card. The I am a Democrat through and through. Dyed in the wool. My parents were Democrats. My grandparents were Democrats.
I voted for Reagan.
Yeah.
Money, Mike. Money too. Like I'm a big time donor. I've been donating every single year. I put lots of money towards you. All that kind of stuff. That's way more important.
It's 2025. So talk up that you're a crypto executive. They'll really
just tell them
fall to the floor for you. They'll really fall to the floor for you right away. Who are you gonna call, Mike? Can I give you a suggestion?
Sure.
Jim Himes is apparently a Democrat who voted to censure Al Green when he is in a plus 13 Democrat district.
Wow.
It's not even like this guy needed to protect his ass, which isn't an excuse to begin with. But there was not even that excuse. So I think that's a good a good person to call, I think.
All right, let's start with him. I'm also gonna call based on their faces that bug me, and Marie Glusenkamp's face just really bugs me. I'm gonna have to call her.
Well, she's the closest one to you, right? She's right above you, right?
In Washington. That's true. Yeah, so we're basically neighbors. I do not own her. That's your problem, Washington State. Okay, I'll call Jim Himes right now. I'm probably not going to get through to any of them. I would love to speak to a staffer. I don't think that's going to happen.
You'll leave a message.
I'll leave a very polite message, yeah.
I'm not so far from Tom Swazi's district. In fact, I think my dad lives in that district.
To the office of Congressman Jim Hines. Our office is currently closed. However, if you're reaching out regarding a federal issue, legislation, or constituent services, you can leave a voicemail after the tone or request assistance through the Contact Me tab on our website, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you.
Hi, Congressman Jim Hines. I am a longtime Democratic Party voter. My parents were Democrats. My grandparents were Democrats. My great-grandparents were Democrats. We've donated to the party multiple times. And when I saw today that you voted to censure Al Green, along with the right-wing fascists who have taken over the government, I was heartbroken. I expected so much more from you. I've always held you in very high regard, as has all of my family. We really respect what you do. And then to see this, I'm not going to lie, it hurt me. It broke me. And I know others feel the same way. The fact that you would vote to censure a civil rights activist who's your colleague, who's only trying to resist Trump in defense of his own constituents, I just wish that you would defend your constituents in the same way. So do better. And if you can't do better, maybe resign. Because I think that if you're not able to meet the moment and actually resist fascists, you shouldn't be in that seat. So have a great day. Actually, have a terrible day. Goodbye.
Well, that last
Luigi.
That was really good.
That was very good.
That was awesome.
That was good. That was good. I probably would not go that far back in terms of the great-grandparents being registered Democrats.
They love these stories, though.
Yeah.
They love
Oh,
the
no, I
stories.
disagree. I disagree
there's a-
wholeheartly. I that was a great angle.
But that's a possibility they were on the wrong side of the Civil War if you go that far back.
Are you the descendant of slave owners, Mike?
No,
My great grandfather.
I don't want to know about my family's history. They are Portuguese. I will say that. But I don't know ignorance is bliss. All right, let's call Marie Glusenkamp Perez.
Hi, you've reached the office of Congresswoman Marie Glusenkamp Perez. We're sorry to have missed your call. Our Washington, D.C. office is open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time while in session, and 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Time during district work periods. Our Vancouver, Washington office is open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Please leave your name, contact information, home address, and a brief message, and we will get back to you.
Hi, Congresswoman Marie. I have been such a huge fan of you, and then when I found out today that you joined with the far-right fascists to censure your own colleague, Representative Al Green, who stood up to Donald Trump bravely and courageously when everybody else sat idly by with their signs, and you voted to censure him, I was devastated. Let me tell you, Congresswoman, my family is long-time Democrats. We grew up on a farm in Washington, and we have been voting Democrats and donating to Democrats. In this last election, I even knocked on doors for Democrats. But after seeing you do that, I have to question, what party am I even supporting? If Democrats are going to join with Republicans, what is the point of even having an opposition party? You might as well join the Republicans. If you're going to vote to censure somebody in your own party for doing the good work for their constituents, getting into good trouble, while no other Democrat would dare put themselves on the line like that, I've got to ask, why are you even in this party, Marie? It seems like you should be a Republican. It seems like you'd prefer to be a Republican, given all of your donations and votes that you make. So I've just got to ask, as somebody who has been a fan of you, you have shaken my faith. So I want to know, why are you even in Congress? Why even a Democrat? Why not just become a lobbyist already? It doesn't make sense to be there if you're just going to be a Republican. Just switch parties, Queen. That's
first call was aside from Grandpappy was possibly in the KKK. The first call was better.
Yeah, I was gonna go down the farm rabbit hole, but then I'm like, oh, I don't know anything about farms, so I just talk about milking cows and shit, and it wouldn't work. Yeah. Maybe I'll call Jared Moskowitz. That'll be the last one, unless anybody else wants to, because I am still mad that he censured Rashida Tlaib.
I think people get
I'm loving this. No, keep going.
I really want to call Jared at least. I have to call Jared. I have to. Because he voted for both of them. So
Florida's 23rd.
I would stick to the first one where you just seemed like you were like the second one was a little bit too activisty. Second one was a little bit too activisty.
Okay. He's going to get the sense that I'm like a leftist. That's a good
Democratic base guy. Just, you support you don't pay too much attention to politics. You're but you're super anti-Trump.
Mm-hmm.
That's the type that they really notice.
They don't want to listen to normies.
Yeah. Okay. That's a great angle actually. All right, I'm going to call now.
Definitely don't call him
Extension number 5300.
I'll call him Queen if I want
Didn't
to.
answer. You've reached the voicemail of Honorable J. Moskowitz's main line. Please leave a message.
Hi, Jared Moskowitz. I'm a lifelong Democratic Party voter and donor. I actually maxed out last election cycle to my Democratic representative, but I just wanted to let you know that I am disgusted by your vote to censure Al Green. This is not the first time that you joined with fascists to censure one of your colleagues. You also voted to censure the only Palestinian American in Congress, Rashida Tlaib, not that long ago. So my question is, why do you always do this showboating and pretend like you are against Republicans? You show up with the Putin mask to own Republicans as if they're beholden to Putin. You will, talk a lot and share those videos of you owning one of the Republicans on social media on a committee hearing, but yet you vote with them so much. You align with them. You condemn your own colleagues with these fascists. And I just got to wonder, why not just join them? Like, it's an act. We all see through you. You're not fooling anybody. You are a liar. You're a huckster. Like, what are you doing in Congress? So you should probably just resign, become a lobbyist already, because what you're doing is so transparent. And I think that you think that we're fooled, but we're not fooled at all. So resign, Queen. All right.
I love how you maxed
We're like,
out.
be more normie, and he goes further.
Right.
Misdirection.
Yeah, you went full theater kid with that one.
I
am the max donor.
I maxed out my
max donor.
The first call. Everyone who wants to call, listen to the first call. That was the best one in terms of how you should make
the first time's always the best. You get rusty after time. Usually, practice makes perfect, but
I think the issue is that Mike is actually really fucking pissed off, so he's having a hard time suppressing.
Right.
Like shaking.
The issue is he's the only one calling. All right, everyone should be doing this. Great on Mike for setting an example. You should do this. This is part of the democracy. You have a right to call, your elected lawmakers and tell them they are doing a shit ass job, and they are not just like collaborators, but they are actively letting fascists take over. Get on Mike.
Who was the first call you made again? Who was that to? That was
Jim
Hines.
Hines. Right? Jim Hines.
Someone should call directly after you, Mike, and be like, I'm that last caller's Confederate great grandfather, and I'm here to say, good sir, that you should.
I'll say.
Listen. It is so hard for me to filter my thoughts when I'm on the phone with them. And I start to ramp up, and then I have to rein myself in. It's so hard. So yeah, I'm being as respectful as I possibly can, but I fucking hate these motherfuckers. They are spineless. They are cowards. You can't hate them enough. They are despicable. Every single one of these people. So call them, be respectful, as I was, I think. I'd like to commend myself for being respectful and not doing anything to get on an FBI watch list, and just let them know that they're fuckwads in a nice way. Don't call them fuckwads, but just
just let them know they're fuckwads.
Politely tell them to stub their toes.
No,
I mean, again, we're asking for we're asking for Dems just to. Remember, this is all symbolic too. The Democrats don't have enough to actually do anything. We're asking for a symbolic show that they care, and they don't want to even do that.
We don't get the symbolism anymore. We don't get the crumbs, the incrementalism. It's just fuck you. We're gonna side with the Republicans. Eat shit. That's what we get from them.
I don't think we're asking for too much. I don't think we're. I think the request that these 10 so-called Democrats not turn their back on Al Green. Again, we're not talking AOC or Ilhan Omar or Rashida Tlaib. We're talking like a Texan Democrat. We're asking him to stand up for the guy because he actually did a show of protest, a good one at that, against Trump. And you know what? He just disrupted him. He didn't even like put up a fight when they took him out. He just did his disruption of Trump. And when they told him to leave, he did.
And it was about healthcare. Like he was disrupting over healthcare, trying to protect Medicare, Medicaid. He was just saying you don't have a mandate to cut Medicare, Medicaid, and then he talked to the media about like what Trump's doing. Like this is like the bare minimum. Like this is how you get the media to cover you and talk about the issues and focus on the fact that Trump and Republicans are cutting healthcare. Like this is how you help to change the narrative. Democrats are so bad. Like their idea of politics is always reacting to what Republicans are doing and always on the defense. How you actually play politics is you set the narrative, force them to reply to you. If you're always the one that is on the defense, then you end up in a situation where look how far right the conversation is. But you have to be the one out there setting the narrative, discussing what it is, and that's what Al Green did. And like again, the censoring is just, I don't even understand how like I know how bad Democrats are. I was still surprised that they did that.
Yeah.
Like,
same.
As someone who is very aware of how shitty Democrats are, that still surprised me.
So I used to do wrestling in high school.
What? Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I used to be a wrestler.
Oh, wow. I think so much more of you now, Ariana.
Very cool.
You should have opened up with that many years ago when we first met.
It was, well, I only did it to piss my dad off because it was a co-ed sport. There were only 3 girls on the whole team and there were like 40 boys. And my dad was really pissing me off. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to join the wrestling team. Anyways, in wrestling, there's something that we do where it's like whenever you go into a match with someone, you always want to be the first one that gets contact with the other person and brings them down, because once you get brought down, it's a lot harder to get back up, because that person, like physically, they're over you. They're more than likely like they have the upper hand. And I just feel like Republicans are always the ones that get the first hand in the match. Like they're always the ones that bring Democrats down.
It's not even just that. Like Democrats go into the ring and they lay down, like they wait.
Yeah.
They just lay down and wait to be covered. Like there's not even there's no attempt to even try to do the pinning.
No, I agree with you. It's just like it's so bad, because it's like no one's gonna vote for a diet Republican, or they're not gonna vote for a diet Republican. Democrats are wait, did you guys see that recommendation for the DNC?
No.
Which
what?
one?
No. So there was news by Democracy Now! Where people were trying to, if I'm not mistaken, they're trying to recommend the DNC to not allow progressives and people that are leftists to like join the DNC or be a part of the DNC or go to the DNC, which is exactly what they did during Kamala's run, and it backfired really bad.
Is this the Third Way article? From Politico?
It's Democracy Now! I'll send it right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw that Gavin Newsom's first episode of his show was interviewing Charlie Kirk and agreeing with him on trans issues and throwing LGBTQ plus people under the bus. And I was like, this is just such a classic example. Like, you know, exactly what you're speaking to. The Democrats and the corporate wing of the Democrats, they're more concerned about just being a consistently fundraising apparatus and machine and not rocking the boat and not having to stand up for civil rights too far beyond what they think is like controversial or any of that kind of shit. Yeah, it was absolutely disgusting.
Oh, I have it ready. This pissed me off. First of all, why are you launching a podcast when you're the governor? You're in a position to actually make people's lives better, and you're doing a podcast. Like, I understand that Democrats need to venture out and they need to go on long form podcasts, but why don't you go on somebody else's podcast? Why are you starting your own? Like, are you trying to be an influencer? Well, this is so stupid.
He's copying.
He probably heard.
He
probably heard the calls. He probably heard all those calls about like how Democrats need their own Joe Rogan, and he's so conceited. He's so self-centered. He probably was like,
he thought it was going to be him.
I will be that Joe Rogan for the Dems.
And he's barely cracking 700-800 views.
He's doing what Ted Cruz did, right? Because Ted Cruz started his own podcast. He got sued for it because they were trying to say that it was against, rules and regulations. He won that lawsuit. And so now more politicians are more than likely going to piggyback him because there's precedent where he actually won the case. But I know for a fact that Gavin Newsom is going to try to run. And I think he's really trying to lay the ground. But the problem is he has liberal California tied to his name. He will not win a race, period. He's not going to win the southern states. He's not going to win the swing states. That's just point blank, period. I don't know what he's thinking. He's out of his mind doing this. But anyway,
Democrats will vote for him in a primary probably because unless somebody worse comes up, then they'll vote for that person. The way things are going. But if you look at the comments here, it's just all right-wingers mostly who are like, wow, finally a great conversation.
Because the entire thing justifies Charlie Kirk's beliefs. That's what doing this does. He posted on his social media, it's like the writer flooding the entire machine with tons of posts and stuff. He's platforming Charlie Kirk, the white supremacist. He's bringing him on his brand new show. It's not the other way around. You're not flooding a whole bunch of right-wingers with your ideas or being like, where can we meet each other here and there? Everything Charlie is saying, if you watch it, he justifies a lot of the most fucked up far-right shit that Charlie espouses. And then again, uses it to attack LGBTQ plus people and agree with things like, oh yeah, no, you're right. We don't want pornography in schools. Maybe it's not a mass book banning because the books happen to be LGBTQ plus. It's because we don't want pornography in schools. You're right. I want fairness in sports. Maybe you aren't so far right on that or extreme on that thing. It sucks.
Yeah, I mean this dude Charlie Kirk is explicitly racist and white supremacist, but he is a paid propagandist. He knows all the talking points. Sure, Gavin Newsom, he has all of his rehearsed talking points too, and he's a slick politician. But Charlie Kirk does this for a living. So to make him the first person you bring on to your shitty little podcast, it kind of broadcasts who he's going to try to speak to when he inevitably runs for president. So this is the part apparently where they talk about trans rights.
I don't say that through the prism of politics because you disagree with same-sex marriage on principle. And so I'm not, and by the way, I value the fact that you're not trying to walk away from that principle because electorally,
I'm in the minority of that.
Yeah, in the minority. And
I value that you're not walking away from that bigoted principle. What? No, I want him to be afraid to say that he's against gay marriage. I want him to be ashamed to open his bigoted mouth and say that. Or at the very
least to learn, right? Would you say the same thing about segregation? He's like, I completely respect the fact that you think there should be separate drinking fountains for white and black folk, and you're principled on that. Fuck off.
These are Democrats. I understand that you're in the KKK, but we can disagree. Okay, we can come together and talk about other things.
We can find common ground, Absolutely.
And then we can get a beer afterwards as well. I have 3 rules for the internet, okay? First one,
it's the Cenk effect. You know what's actually really funny, not to bring them up, but Anna is turning into exactly who she hates because she fucking hates Gavin Newsom. And Gavin Newsom is sitting here kikiing with Charlie Kirk. So
her and Cenk, they're both turning into this is what they're doing. You could just put them in this seat. It's same conversation.
We can talk about them too because Cenk shit on trans people on Jillian Michaels' show, The Biggest Loser. I saw Lance's clip. I was so mad. These Dollar Tree Dave Rubins need to shut the fuck up. They act like they're so profound and what they're doing is transformative for the country. No, you're desperate. We can smell the desperation all the way from here. I'm in Oregon. I could smell your desperation. But
it's civil rights with terms and conditions, essentially.
Exactly. It's there's that Boogie clip where he went on H3 before Ethan Klein crashed out. And he was like, listen, and this was after gay marriage had already been legalized in all 50 states. He's like, why don't we just wait a few years? Wait for gay marriage, and then once it's no longer controversial, then we get gay marriage. Fuck anyone who disagrees with that. Ain't I brave? No. How about fuck the people who are against civil rights? Let's give people civil rights and then let them cope and seethe.
I want to walk away from this principle because it's electoral, but it is an issue of fairness, and I think Democrats have lost that.
I think that I wish that we would have done this podcast last week. Because the U.S. Senate just every Democrat voted against that bill. And I'm just telling you, I'm not one to give Governor Newsom advice. You guys are giving us an 80-20 issue that is just permeating the country. It's such an affront to our senses. And you look at these videos, Governor, because it's not just that it's, okay, you read an article about it, but these young men that are in these sports, they're throwing around girls, and it is an issue of fairness, but it goes.
Name one example.
They never
Gavin
name
Newsom
examples.
doesn't push back. Yeah.
They got like one or two people they call.
Well, in this he starts talking about the example that Trump keeps using, as well as the rest of the right, which is the trans woman in the volleyball game that spiked it really hard recently, and that clip is doing the rounds on the right wing. That's the example that Charlie Kirk says, where it's just like a person now has effectively brain damage because a biological male was allowed to compete, and it's like, okay, to be completely fair, it was a very standard spike that happens in sports, and like you don't ever speak up about the conditions in sports for women at all across the board, right? Like you don't talk about how, oh, okay, well, within this specific league, say for soccer, at every single level, women are experiencing physical and sexual abuse in soccer, right? Doesn't matter if it's amateur leagues, doesn't matter if it's professional leagues, on every single level. That's not a thing the right talks about. They want an edge case, a single example of like, hey, here in this situation, something happened, and this is because we're allowing biological males to compete, right? And then like Gavin Newsom doesn't push back at all. He's like, I agree with you. It's about fairness. It's always
people
been
get
about
hit in
fairness.
the head with balls all the fucking time. Like this, it's like part of the sport. Like
I got hit in the face with balls in school, like the sports ones. And when I was little, I didn't know what I was doing, but I didn't like throw a fucking conniption fit. I cried, but I got over it. Sports can be dangerous.
Imagine being such a fucking loser that you're invited to a joint address to Congress because you got hit in the face with a volleyball. Like, that's that's the fucking bar.
I'm just curious. This is the same bill that allows anyone to do genital inspections, right?
Yeah, that's the bill.
The one that Charlie Kirk's talking about. Yeah, that got voted.
Okay, so why the fuck didn't Gavin Newsom like jump in and say, hey, I don't know about you, but like I wouldn't want my daughter to have her genitals looked at by someone that's not a medical professional in a school setting. Like that's sexual abuse. That's abusive.
Because that would be someone who's trying to push back against transphobia and bigotry and actually expose them as being weirdos. Gavin Newsom wants to open the door for, hey, I'm actually more of a moderate and I'm reasonable, and the right should actually, maybe see that I'm not as wacky as the bunch of the extreme radical leftist communists on the other end. This is by design. Everything he's choosing to do here is deliberate. People need to understand that like there are obviously controversial things for certain people to wrap their heads around, but when it comes to civil rights, there can't be a game of like civil rights with ... asterisk, comma, like some civil rights. Okay, I'll fight for that, right? It's an all or nothing thing for people whose very existence is being threatened. It doesn't matter if it's gay rights, doesn't matter if it's trans rights, doesn't matter if it's indigenous rights, right? Like across the board, if Gavin Newsom wants to do this, he's deliberately doing it. For him, he's like, you know what? I agree that this is not a winning issue. I don't want to stand up for it. I want to now position myself in such a way that I can sit here and be like, yeah, you're right. The left has lost their mind on this.
I just feel like there could have been so many points where he could have countered, where it was like, hey, listen, this bill was extreme regardless of what end of the spectrum you land on. Because can you imagine like a teenage girl's volleyball team? The PE teacher is like, you know what? I need to inspect every single one of your genitals. Like that's traumatizing. And also it might even leave them to leave the sport or not want to do the sport anymore. And like this isn't exactly the same, but after what the US gymnastics team went through, not the same situation whatsoever, but we see what effects that has on children, especially when they grow into adults. And it's just kind of insane to me that Gavin Newsom just sat there very quiet, because that bill was diabolical. Period. That bill was going to impact everyone. Doesn't matter if you're trans or not. And it's just like, he's just sitting there so silent. And that just tells you so much about his run and what his run is going to be about, because he's going to be a diet Republican at this rate. And also, we need to have a conversation about what is up with these centrist Democrats going on and pandering to these Republicans and giving them platforms. I mean, first we have Cenk, then we have Anna, now this, I don't even know what the fuck this is. So we're just like,
this is Gavin Newsom.
We're giving them too much. We're giving them too much. We just are. Like, we're giving them way too much.
It's also a loser strategy. Like Mike just put out a really good video that has that clip of Tim Waltz saying like we can't keep offering people a policy where we just kind of alter like the Affordable Care Act. We need to start giving people free public health care as a policy. And he's totally right there. Like you can't keep doing these baby half measures or diet Republican shit because it didn't work for Hillary Clinton. It didn't work for Harris Waltz. Like this shit does not work. They already have Republicans. They already vote for Republicans. Yeah. They already like that side is they just want liberal tears. They just want wins. They just want all that kind of shit. You have to inspire people to actually galvanize them to get them off their fucking couches to be like, hell fucking yes, public health care. Let's fight for this. It's worth me taking time on my weekend to knock on a door to put up a sign and shit like that instead of whatever the fuck this is.
Yeah, they just like they will never get that through their head, even though they know it's wrong. They will continue with that strategy forever because they would rather win with fascists than win with progressives. That's what it comes down to.
This also goes again to like showing you Republicans setting a narrative that Democrats are reacting to. Instead of having a conversation about universal health care or Democrats setting a narrative about like things that are big picture items, big picture issues. You're stuck in the weeds on conversations around transports because Democratic Party has nothing real to actually offer or anything to even discuss in terms of setting a narrative.
Yeah. Why aren't Republicans on the defensive? Why isn't Charlie Kirk defending why his party does not support health care for every single American? 68,000 people die every single year. This was based on a pre-COVID study because we don't have health care. That was a more conservative estimate because it didn't factor in people who were underinsured, who had insurance, but something wasn't covered or they were taken to the wrong hospital, so they did not get care after all. Why are we always the ones, and when I say we, I mean like Democrats generally speaking, I don't consider myself part of that, but like our side, roughly speaking, why are we always on the defensive? Why are these idiots setting the agenda? It's embarrassing, and it speaks to how weak and feckless this party is.
To a broader arch narrative.
There you go.
Which is important.
No, and this I want to hear this.
Which is this that the Democrats, you guys will tend to view an incident through an oppressor-oppressed lens.
Yeah.
It's your training. It comes from college. It comes from we as conservatives tend to view things through right or wrong or just or unjust. And the country is going far more in our direction and away from your direction because the problem with oppressor-oppressed is eventually you run out of oppressors and you start creating them out of thin air.
Yeah.
And you start trying to say, well, these people must be blamed for all of our problems.
This is nonsense.
Why? Wait.
You sit there.
How did he said that's true under his breath, right? When Charlie Kirk said, when Charlie Kirk said that
he's treating this as of like Kirk's like a real thinker as opposed to just propaganda.
Right.
There's more wealth concentration now. Like even Bernie Sanders was like the 3 richest Americans were at Trump's inauguration and they combined control more wealth than nearly half the country. 3 men, 3 dudes. Like how could you sit there and be like, you're just running out of oppressors? No, you're not. Their power is ever great. Like it's concentrating and amplifying. What are you talking about?
Like how did someone sit behind this camera or sit behind in the producer chair or whatever, see this and go, oh, this makes Gavin Newsom look great. Let's hit publish. Like, what the fuck?
Time to launch this baby. This shit is hot. Like, we can't wait to show the world.
What? He's literally just sitting there nodding his head going, yep, that's right. That's true. That's true. That's true.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we're out of oppressors.
And this is a side note, but I fucking hate this set. Like the colors are all the same. Your shelf is the same color as your walls. That's just the side note. Tacky.
Incredible art.
It's giving boomer trying to be a cool Twitch streamer.
Right. It's clearly a Gen Xer also who wants to be like a millennial. We have our millennial gray, which I do fuck with. But he's botching it. He's botching it so hard. And like, what
to me, it just looks like they just like wandered onto like a random podcast set they felt like there's like a studio with like a bunch of sets set up and they just like picked one. It was already pre-made.
It looks like a hotel waiting room.
Hey,
let's be honest.
It does.
Kamala, do you happen to have any leftovers from that Call Me Daddy set you guys built for $300,000?
And I mean, art is subjective, but what is this? What is this?
Yeah, I know. I could do that. Okay, I say that all the time, but I'm like, I could do that. I could 100% do that. I could do that, and if that is worth more than $1, you got ripped off.
Right.
Those are Gavin Newsom's notes for the
Rebecca.
podcast.
Hey, Rebecca.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
Oh, hey, Rebecca.
Hi.
I wasn't even paying attention to the set until Mike brought it up, but now I can't stop looking at the carpet that they couldn't even spend a minute to straighten out.
Yeah, it's bunched underneath the fucking desk.
This is just embarrassing.
It's just the fact that his shirt kind of blends, Gavin Newsom's shirt kind of blends into the wall too. Like,
yeah.
I feel like this was so amateur. Like he couldn't even hire someone to be like, hey, can you wear like, you know, an outfit that kind of pops or something, you know? It's giving snooze fest. Like
was it snooze fest? I missed it. I didn't even watch the clip.
So he is agreeing with Charlie Kirk that Democrats have gone too far on the issue of trans sports. And he's just kind of sitting there agreeing with everything. Yep. You're right.
He said that's true after Charlie Kirk said that conservatives are the party of right and wrong, just and unjust.
Gavin Newsom,
baby. You rewind it a little bit. Let
oppressors.
Rebecca, seeing is believing. Let Rebecca see it herself.
Well, no, we can show her more and just watch more because then does not go in a different direction.
Yeah,
just play.
It continues to be.
It gets worse. Yeah, it just
okay.
the whole thing is bad.
Problems, and that's where you get a lot of the. Let's just say a lot of, for example, there's a Wall Street Journal editorial like, when will the white men shut up or stop complaining? That does no good for anybody, right?
No.
So we want this white man to shut the fuck up, though.
The hairline is crazy, but you know, I digress.
Yeah, there's a lot to be said about him. Nice freeze frame too.
What I'm getting at though is it's a worldview difference, right?
I get it.
And so
that's why the issue is so much more powerful.
Of course it is, but it's also pattern recognition.
Yeah.
It's pattern recognition of a Democrat Party that post 2020 decided to go all in. We call it woke. You might call it, justice or whatever it is, but it's so outside of what we would consider traditional Americans' norms and customs. And again, so a Democrat strategist would say, "Oh, Charlie, you're weaponizing stuff." Not you, but like that's a typical thing. But the most effective ad of this election cycle, the most effective ad, what it is?
Yeah, and devastating. Trump's for you. She's for they, them.
And
devastating.
Again, devastating.
Devastating.
Let's talk
and she didn't even react to it, which was even more.
And let's talk about why it was devastating. Number one, it was the trans issue that was just, monopolizing.
And this was even more challenging because there's issues of people that are incarcerated
and illegal
incarcerated individuals getting taxpayer funded.
Yes, and
gender reassignment surgeries. That is a 90-10, not an 80-20.
Right, and then she's like enthusiastically defending it, bragging, being like, "I'm all for this. I'm all for this."
And then you had the video that was a validator. Brutal.
Yeah, and so
tens of millions of brutal, and then the targeted focus from the Trump campaign, next level.
And then Charlemagne comes out on Breakfast Club, is like, "This is insane," and they ran it on NFL football.
Brilliant.
Yes, and so you're trying to reach men.
Yeah.
It's not. It's
a brilliant campaign commercial. It was brutal. It was devastating.
It doesn't require.
By the way, we were running around just for the what the hell it's worth for you. She was AG at the time. She was addressing the issue of illegal settlement. The courts were intervening on this topic, but she had the video where in the video she was obviously expressed support, and so 100%.
She was being a cheerleader for a very unpopular thing.
It was it was a great ad, and I don't say that lightly.
But this is important
in political annals.
And I want to make sure it's not just that this was like the Willie Horton ad of the 2024. Yeah. It wasn't just like a Lee Atwater brilliance. It's that it reflected truth that the voters felt.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
And that because voters felt as if their country was slipping away.
Yeah.
Now the Democrats have a choice.
Normalizing
you could say to those people,
everything Charlie Kirk is saying, just like every single statement that he's been making so far. It's just like,
this is worse than I even thought it was.
Right.
This is so cringy.
Totally right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he's just letting Charlie Kirk run roughshod. Like, this is just the right wing podcast at this point. Charlie Kirk has monopolized the conversation.
Yeah, you wouldn't even know that Gavin Newsom, which side he stands. No, you would think that he is literally a conservative from this is like his first episode, right, of the podcast, and him launching this. What was it supposed to give? A bipartisan vibe, or like him hearing?
He's trying to show off
sides?
that unlike the other Democrats, he can have a lengthy conversation. So
with
isn't
a white
he
supremacist.
so special?
It makes him
his
like a white
first one.
supremacist.
Wait,
But it
right.
makes Gavin look like he's literally a white supremacist. You would never, if nobody knew who he was, they would watch this and believe that these are two conservative people, two Trump supporters.
Could you imagine being like, I can sit down and have a conversation with a Klansman, unlike my contemporaries. I can do it. It's like, bravo. I can't. Ew. I don't want to be in the room with a fucking Charlie Kirk. Are you serious?
You know what it is? I feel like when two people were really, really popular when they ran, Bernie Sanders and Obama, right? And I feel like one thing they did was they were able to bring people from both sides of the aisle to vote for them or to support them. And I feel like Gavin Newsom is kind of trying to emulate that, but like in a diet Republican way, you know what I mean?
They did that with policy and even
course,
like in Obama's
yeah,
case, like being anti-Iraq war, like doing things that were like against the grain of the party in a positive direction, in a human rights direction.
I agree with you 100%. Yeah.
Gavin Newsom is all like, I don't know what he thinks he's doing, but it's all just like it's all just slimy. Like there's nothing to him at all. What's his appeal?
It's not. We're not.
Like I don't even understand what his appeal is.
We're not getting it at all. I feel like this is somebody who's trying to do some vintage, like everybody that I've been seeing, like this is not the year to try to give us bipartisan vibes, to try to act like we can be a part of the right or the left. You really have to show yourself and where you stand. And I think that everybody, even people who are Democrats or progressives, the problem really is y'all trying to do 2016 things. Y'all trying to do 2008 things. Y'all trying to do, it's not gonna work in 2025. Y'all have to really choose a side. And y'all have to be hard on it. You can't sit with the enemy. And if you're gonna sit with the enemy, at least ask hard-hitting questions that like literally challenge these people. If you in your space and you know that you've grown, you have a great following, great supporters, good constituents, you know why they love you. And it's basically for your progressive ideals and all these other things, like you representing another way for the Democrat that is different from, like you really are for your people, for your state. That's why people love you. Now you're sitting with the ops and you are agreeing with things that are problematic. You're nodding your head. You're saying true or not. People are going to remember that. If you going to sit with the ops, you going to challenge the ops. That's going to be memorable. That's going to be where people are like, you know what? I want to stand by Gavin Newsom because he isn't afraid to bring these people onto his platform the same way that the right does and challenge them. That would have been nice to see. I am sad for that. I didn't know that it was going to turn out that way.
That's episode 1 of his podcast too. Like the first guy he brings on is Charlie Kirk as his first guest.
I feel like someone like Mark Lamont Hill does that so well, where he brings people onto his podcast and he will challenge them. He'll be like, listen, very respectful, like, I don't agree with you, you're wrong. And these are all the facts. You know what I mean? I feel like if it was something like that, or if you want to do the 2008, 2016 thing, like do it on progressive values, you know, do it about, you know, workers' rights, or like David said, you know, anti-war, whatever they're trying to do right now, it doesn't work. It makes us look really weak as fuck, honestly.
When we already ain't looking good, baby, it's not a good look. This week, after the week that we've had, Gavin thought he would drop something like this. That's literally
just got to reach across the aisle to one of the biggest propagandists on the right and agree with him on everything. That's how you
the resistance. The resisting. Look at the resistance.
Hey Gavin, if you want to have a really good, open-minded conversation in the marketplace of ideas, bring on a socialist. Talk to a communist. Talk to somebody on the left. You're talking to a white supremacist, so go the opposite side.
White supremacists.
They won't.
Nope, never.
They won't do it. They only want a platform. It's the Cenk and Anna, you know, playbook.
Yes.
They'll only platform people on the other side, and then they'll try to look tolerant in this attempt to, like, you know, oh, we can all work together. It's like, no, this person doesn't fundamentally believe in human rights. I can't work with them. You know what I mean?
I could see Gavin bringing on, though, like AOC and bringing her on to disagree with her, to be like, I'm actually See, I'm not as extreme. I'm not as crazy as she is. Like, I think he will bring on someone like that, but as a way to like position himself to the right of them. Like, that's what he's going to do.
But so when he first came out with the promo of this podcast, it was like, hey, I'm going to bring people from all different sides of the aisle and we're going to have conversations and we're going to have challenging conversations. That didn't look challenging at all. And also, another thing, if you look at that podcast and you know nothing about the election, right? You haven't read any statistics or anything, you would believe, oh my God, that one video of Kamala Harris when she was AG, that's what tanked her. When it wasn't. The top issue that people were voting on was the economy. That was the issue that everyone was tripping about. It was the economy. And so if you're going to make it seem like an AG video about trans people was the reason why she lost, it's not true.
So he was hating on Kamala Harris?
He was agreeing with Charlie Kirk that video specifically, that ad campaign was very effective and that the Democrats never had a good response to it. Where, to be completely honest, if Charlie Kirk brings that up and you're actually someone who wants to push up against him, you can say, hey, that policy that all of you keep lying about, that was like a uniquely Biden thing, was happening under Trump. You just didn't politicize it at the time. But
that could have been something.
We're talking about giving healthcare to inmates. If you're against healthcare for inmates, then just say that. Say that out loud, right? But that's ultimately what this is about. Not this entire like she specifically was like she wants to give operations to prisoners and all this kind of stuff. Did Trump? Did Trump, when it's a policy under him as the president the first time? I didn't hear a fucking word out of any of you.
And just to show you how out of touch these people are, this is what Jordan Uhl shared. This is from like September of 2024. So on all the issues, number one was the economy. This is exactly what Ariana said. And all the way at the bottom is transgender rights. So Throwing trans people under the bus is not going to win you any Republicans. But you want to know what might happen is you piss off trans people. You piss off trans people that have friends and family members who are paying attention. Because I'm pissed off. When I see this, I'm done with you. So this is what they're doing. They are cutting off their noses to spite their own faces. And they don't realize how fucking stupid it is. They think that this makes them look like, the bigger people because they're willing to admit when they're wrong. So they're hoping that Republicans would do the same thing. That's never going to happen. They're going to take your L, broadcast it. If you look online, everybody's talking about on Twitter how Charlie Kirk owned Gavin Newsom. So what exactly does this accomplish? Okay, sure, you had a 2-hour-long conversation or however long it was, and your brain didn't melt like Joe Biden. Congratulations. What do we do with this? Like, what are you doing? You have people in your state who don't have health care, who are sleeping on the streets. Do that. Address that first. Don't do a podcast, dumbass.
He doesn't care. He's always been about himself.
Yeah, he doesn't.
It's just that most, like, not in like a bad way, but most voters, they don't really, like, trans people are not top of the ticket. It's always, it's almost always been the economy, to be honest, especially when the economy goes bad. And so for Gavin Newsom to not even push back on that and say, hey, well, first of all, you're wrong. Second of all, the biggest issue is the economy. And we can have another conversation about that. But it's like, it's the same. It's funny because back before when Biden was president, you would talk about the eggs and all the Republicans would be like, oh my God, eggs are so expensive. Eggs are so, you post about eggs now and they're all fucking economists, analysts, and they all understand the science. And
we inherited the egg issue. This is Joe Biden's eggs.
We inherited. They stay saying that. We got that from Joe Biden and we put this on. Sir, you said you was going to fix it. Eggs is literally by $10.
Are you kidding me? And it's entirely because of his policies too. Like if all of a sudden there's an outbreak of bird flu, and then you're like, let's get rid of the World Health Organization, let's the CDC, let's just do mass culling of all these farms. RFK Jr., what do you got? Blah, blah, blah. Like,
by the way, just real quick, everybody, I've got the hookup on eggs. Call me. I can get you a dozen for $5. It's good shit. Just call me.
I bought eggs. I went to a shop today. I bought eggs. This is obviously I'm in Canada. I bought eggs. I think they were like $3.50, like for 12 eggs. I didn't realize there was like a massive. I mean, I heard there's an egg problem in the U.S., but I haven't paid attention to it.
People kill for those.
$10.
That $3.50 eggs you got. Yeah, we'd snatch that out of your hand like a fucking savage.
Okay, I
Lance,
give some advice.
Lance,
You're gonna invade us now.
Sorry, just really quick. People in America, if you guys want to get eggs, please go to your local farmer's market. You'll be supporting your local farmer, and they more than likely will be stocked up with eggs. You're going to be paying a little bit more, but at least it's going to a local farmer. So
yeah, my local farmer's market, the egg shelf be
so good.
It's out. They're great eggs, but I think the fear of not having eggs now is a thing. So people are running to get eggs. And I'm like, y'all know y'all don't be cooking with eggs for real. Now y'all gonna have these eggs sitting in your home only because of the fear mongering around y'all ain't gonna have eggs. But at my local farmer's market here, ain't no eggs. It's just it's like 10 o'clock in the morning and no eggs at all. Which is interesting. But Lance, I really would love for you to do RFK's voice again, or how he would respond.
That was RFK's
It's like a monster. It's like
yeah, just that it's madness. Like honestly, I think like jokes aside, you're seeing the same shit with him. Like actually, you know what? He did put out an op-ed about how the MMR measles vaccine is a personal choice and people should take it, and that is now getting this huge backlash of people apparently being like, he's a sellout. I can't believe it. He lied to us. He's actually like not anti-vax anymore. And I think it's because even this is something that, as horrible as he is, it's like, don't fuck with this. This is going to just murder kids. Do not do this, right? Like, please, for the love of fuck, stop being like anti-vax on this one issue.
I mean, you can see like there's graphs showing like when the measles vaccine came in, and like it's like an immediate drop.
Oh yeah,
like there's a clear like. It's not like the COVID vaccine, which helped, but it's, it wasn't like COVID went away immediately. Like this is like measles was like, it's gone, like it's done, like because of the vaccine. So there's no denying any of this.
People just wasn't fast enough. It should have been immediate.
What were you saying, Ariana?
I said people forgot how we used to live without vaccines. Like
till 35.
Really getting into your guys' head because like the plague, like.
Families, 10 plus kids.
People was dying.
Half of them,
people was sick.
Mm-hmm. You'd have to have a litter of children because half of them would die.
Nations of people just wiped out.
People weren't going past the age of like freaking 20 something. Yeah, like you weren't making it.
No.
Yeah, this guy that I don't know if you've heard about this guy. I just learned about him. He was around like the 1800s, probably like mid 40s. His name was Arthur Morgan. He got tuberculosis and he passed away like within months. There was no vaccine back then. And after that you start playing as John Marston in the game. Nobody's played Red Dead Redemption. Never mind.
No.
I played the original. Was that the original or the second one?
It's the second one is a prequel. Oh, I just spoiled it for everybody. I'm so sorry.
I was like, I don't want to say the internet's.
I'm just kidding. He's fine. I mean, the game's been out for a while. I'm so sorry. God, why am
the game has been out for a while.
Did that, and I don't know what you're talking about, and I know the others do, but I don't know.
It was a 20% chance anybody would know what the fuck I was talking about. I had to.
I didn't know. I don't play that game.
It's
if it was a Fortnite joke, I would have got it.
It's okay. Well, I support whatever joke you said as long as it's not, ages. I don't know where you're going with this. So
I
whatever.
just never internalized stories.
It's not ages.
It was a little homophobic, but
I can. Well, you can say that.
I can say anything I want in that regard. I can.
Okay, you can say that.
And I do. So Ariana brought up Cenk, and so Lance shared a clip that pissed me off so much. I have it pulled up because, okay, first of all, just to give you some additional background, before we watch this, the Letter Hack did a really great segment. It's kind of long, so we can't really play it, but he talked about how they were covering Donald Trump's ban on trans people serving in the military, and they straight up derailed their own segment so they themselves could shit on trans people and blame trans people for what Trump is doing.
Hank Thompson has the clip without my commentary. If you just want to play Cenk alone.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I'll pull that up.
Because that clip, to be fair, is mostly me yelling and ranting.
Well, that's always nice to watch as well. Don't you know? See. I don't know why Jillian Michaels all of a sudden is like a political commentator.
Ain't she the workout lady?
Don't ask me.
Yeah, she was on The Biggest Loser. She was on the Fitness Ultimatum 2009, Fitness Ultimatum 2010, and Fitness Ultimatum 2011 for Nintendo Wii and Nintendo DS. Why are we hearing about her political
She was on the
thoughts?
cover, right?
Yeah, she's on the cover.
She
of the game.
was, yeah. She probably developed it herself. She probably didn't even know that shit existed.
So she's Dr. Filling it right now. So she's like doing a conservative run.
Doing like enlightened centrists. Let's say that.
Mm.
And she's turfy. She's turfy, of course.
Oh no,
because,
she's not. I don't think she's doing enlightened centrist at all. She's full blown right winger.
She did say in
That's
this,
the sense that I get.
video she voted for Trump. She does say this in the interview.
Did you not?
Well,
did you
then,
not
yeah,
see?
we know
Did you
what
not
it is,
see?
then.
Did you not see when she was just on with Sam Cedar on Piers Morgan?
I saw that.
Talking about the dying children. Like, it's a red herring, the dying kids in Africa.
She said,
you
"Don't
know?
pull the." Sam mentioned how there's literal boxes full of pallets full of food that's already been purchased
Undigested
by the
food.
U.S. Sitting in warehouses, and Elon Musk and Doge cut the delivery of those, and the food is just going to go to waste and go bad.
Yeah.
And starving children are going to die because of it, because that's where it's going to go. And she says to him, "Oh, don't pull the starving children card with me. It's
just a red herring." Yeah.
That's centrists are bad, but I would say that's pretty, that goes beyond even that.
What she brought up too
glorious.
was like
You're right.
a point about big agriculture that like wasn't necessarily disagreeable. Like nobody on the left would defend big ag. Like of course we support small businesses, small farmers. And then she like had to shoehorn in a point about GMOs, like GMOs are bad too. It's like shut the fuck up. But anyways, here's Cenk Uygur talking to her. Let me bring this in. Oh, here we go. It is
crazy.
in.
So some on the left, I mean, one of our hosts, Piers Morgan, asked her, so are you okay with Leo Messi
Francesca.
playing in women's
Yeah, he's talking about
sports?
Francesca.
And by the way, he said in the
Why
most
is
extreme
this
way, if
every
he declared himself a
conversation?
woman tomorrow, even
Yeah.
with his former
Right?
Why is every? Did
Hold on,
he
first
start
of all-
this or does she start? Like what? Why
I'm
is
not
every
sure.
fucking political conversation is about sports, which should not be a discussion on a national level in politics? Like
No.
sports
But
should
also-
be whatever the fucking school or
people were saying she
league
wasn't-
is. Who the fuck cares?
Right.
Right?
Also, soccer is probably the worst possible example because for a large portion of your youth, soccer is actually a co-ed sport. It's literally probably one of the most possible sports to do co-ed with, actually, and have men and women play together. In fact, the league I play in, the adult league I play in New York, it's the biggest adult soccer organization in the city, and it's expanding beyond that. They do all co-ed games. It's men and women on the team together. It's probably the worst possible example you can use that you can't do multiple genders in soccer. It is absolutely possible. It's probably the most fair sport to do it in, actually.
When I was a kid, I played T-ball, and that was co-ed. It was, boys and girls playing on the same team. It's not a big deal. Who knew that I was beating up on girls as a kid? I had no idea playing a sport with them.
There's 11 players on the pitch on each team. Messi being on one person on playing in like women's soccer, literally they would possibly still lose. Like Messi's team loses all the time. He plays in MLS now. MLS teams aren't as good as they are over in Europe, and Messi's team loses all the time.
therapy or anything.
Doesn't work. I'm telling you, I could give you 19 different studies that
Okay.
show it's
So-
not effective.
Give one, Jillian. Just one.
People really
Just
thought that
one.
she was trans for a while.
Yeah, I mean, the transvestigators leave absolutely no stone unturned, so it doesn't
No.
surprise me.
So first of all, my opinion is, are you nuts? Like if you put Messi in, he'd score 20 goals a game. If you put LeBron in the WNBA with or without hormones, he'd score 200 points a night. Okay, and I've read the studies. They always say, "Oh, there's studies," and they never read them. Then they got to the absurdity of Floyd Mayweather going into women's boxing if he declares himself a woman. Do not say yes to that. Do not say yes to that, because they're gonna hurt someone. And when they do, you're going to lose the country even more.
100%.
Then you're not.
I would love to see Cenk go up against a cis woman boxer. Just like, I'd love to see that.
Clarissa.
I can't get over the soccer thing because that's the sport I know more than any of the other sports about. I actually know soccer quite
Cenk
well.
talking about something he has no idea about? No way, Binder. That's impossible.
Messi doesn't score 20 points against absolute shit teams. You don't get it just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen.
It also, like, doesn't this always go back to, at the end of the day, why do any of us, including myself, know more than the Olympic Committee? Shouldn't we defer to people who actually study sports medicine, potential advantages? Like, it's been well demonstrated that there's a much bigger advantage to people who grow up with wealth because they have parents who can take them to practice, who can then buy them equipment, who can then get them training, who, like, all of that is going to play into it. This is something you legitimately cared about. When has any of these people who use this as a wedge issue just to be transphobic ever talked about any of the other problems that are so much worse in women's sports? And I'm not just talking about the underpaying. I'm talking about the serial abuse that goes across, like, you know, every single fucking league of women's sports. They never bring this shit up. It's always just like, I agree. I care deeply about this because I'm a feminist suddenly out of nowhere. And as a feminist, I don't want the biological males playing with the because women are inherently just weaker and worse at everything. And blah, blah. You're like, what the fuck?
And then you have useful idiots like Cenk falling into their fucking propaganda trap. Like, just incredible.
Yeah, and you want to know the main example now that they all use of a man beating up on women? It's Imani Khalif, a cis woman. They use that all the time. I don't think Cenk has used this to be fair.
So fucking annoying. Imani Khalif is literally a cisgender.
Yeah.
No, but only if you outlaw all the trans people, then the right will be like, okay, everything's fine.
And
like,
this is Russian boxing organization too.
It's just so like the Imani Khalif discourse really pisses me off because I feel like the demonization of Middle Eastern women and just people in general has been like very normalized.
And black women too in the Olympics.
Yeah, black women also get
a consistent thing where it's like, oh, you know, she must have unnatural levels of testosterone, blah, blah, blah. It's like, she's just really good. You know what the advantage is? Genetics. That's what makes you really good at sports.
Right.
Really good
we should
like,
eliminate anyone over 6 feet in the NBA because it's not fair. It's just not fair to have tall people play basketball.
Ban Michael Phelps from swimming because he has freakishly advantageous qualities about him.
Yeah.
It's just so annoying.
Yeah, Ole has a great video about the about transphobia specifically as it pertains to black women and the history of it, like Sierra getting transvestigated in the 2000s. Yeah, so when you look at like the people that J.K. Rowling specifically is targeting, it's cis women of color, black women, women who are Middle Eastern. It's always that. Like, rarely is it a white woman that she transvestigates.
Yeah, because it's historically, you know, black women are considered, you know, not the aesthetic, not womanly. So they always attach us to not having any, we don't feel pain, all that other stuff. And so we are freaks. And so we have to be men. They called Michelle Obama a man. They still call her a man.
Still do.
I totally forgot about this, and Tokyo Hans just brought this up in the chat. I'm sorry, I'm still on the soccer thing, but it's perfect. I'm gonna no, because it's so fucking good. It's so fucking good. Messi is the worst possible example you can use for this because, as Tokyo Hans points out, isn't Messi famously on human growth hormones because he has some kind of condition? Yes. At age 11, he was diagnosed with a growth hormone deficiency. And he took HGH to overcome the hormone growth deficiency that was paid for by Barcelona, the team he ended up going on, because they wanted him to be the you know, they didn't want that to hold him back, and he wanted him to be the best player he could possibly be.
So he had gender affirming care.
Messi took HGH and took hormones and had gender affirming care to overcome a growth hormone deficiency. The absolute worst example you could use for this. Thank you, Tokyo Hans.
Wow. Somebody says that that's the point that Francesco is making, that Cenk is sidestepping here. So he was butchering whatever argument she was making, apparently. There's not too much more of this. We're halfway through, if you want to finish this.
Sure.
Not protecting trans rights. You're walking them backwards. We had the bathroom thing and the military thing solved. I think that they should be able to go into the
what happened there
that they appear to be, right? If you're
the bathroom same thing. I agree with that. Like that's like
once
who
again,
cares?
it's
No one
because you
says-
keep capitulating to the right. This is what happens. This is the end result of having terms and conditions with things pertaining to civil rights and giving the right an inch. They take it all away because to them, it's not about we want them to have a little bit of civil rights. They don't want them to exist. That's the end all be all of this. You can't keep doing this and be like, I thought we had this figured out. I mean, I was fine with a little bit of civil rights. You can have a certain acceptable amount, right? Isn't that what being progressive is?
That's the great, like the fact that they're talking about this and not the fact that trans people are being outlawed, like, isn't that a bigger issue right now than whatever your thoughts are about sports? Like the whole conversation, the fact that this conversation's happening now and this is what they're talking about.
Yeah.
It's wild.
To your point, David, there is a law that's proposed, and I think it's Iowa. Don't quote me on that. Aaron in the Morning has a great story about this, by the way. How they're basically trying to designate being trans in public as indecent exposure. So that way they can just arrest trans people indiscriminately if they don't pass, or if they find out.
How is that not the headline story here?
Yeah,
it's disgusting.
Cenk would say, "Oh well, the reason why that's happening now is because the trans rights activists pushed too far, and because they wanted to play in sports." That's why this is happening. That's what he would argue. It's just like if you go back to the 2000s, you'd hear people say, like people who would pretend to be like centrists. They'd be like, "Oh well, gay people, they should have just pushed for marriage, or they should have pushed for civil unions, but they want marriage, and now they're not going to get civil unions. And now, they want to adopt too. Like, you keep pushing and pushing and pushing, and there's going to be this backlash. There's always a fucking backlash. That's what happens. Read history."
There's no case of anyone being assaulted by a trans person in a bathroom. And this is 100% with you. However, in sports, this is a flat earther conversation.
So, Jillian, that's exactly what I'm saying. So since they insisted that Floyd Mayweather should be able to go, Mike Tyson should be able to go into a ring with biological women if he has puberty blockers, etc.
Okay.
They have to literally make scenarios up.
Yeah,
of course. That's the conversation. Yeah. They have to invent a world. How about discussing the actual world where there is an attempt in Texas to outlaw trans people, where they're actually taking healthcare away from people? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
this is so gross.
She had a great response to that. She was like, I should have brought up the fact that Floyd Mayweather already beats on women and has beat on multiple women. Cenk was going to be using this as an example, which is historically true.
Does this not sound like the scenarios that Tim Pool talks about? Like when Matt was on the show, he'd ask, what if or maybe it was Emma or you, Lance. I'm not sure who.
No,
but
I was
remember
on the show and he was like, what if the woman's 9 months pregnant, the baby is halfway out, and the baby guillotine. She's literally in the middle of labor. Baby is halfway out, and she goes, doctor, I want an abortion.
This is the shit that they're doing.
That has happened. The real situation that has happened.
This is what they have to do. Well, what if you're this 7 foot, 5 foot man, and all of a sudden you put on a wig and you say, I'm a woman? Should that person be allowed to bike? That's not fucking happening. There's less than 10.
They're not allowed.
Trans athletes at the K through 12 level, just across the country. It was estimated before that it was around 150 to 200. We were way overestimating it. Why are you focusing on this? Recenter the conversation. Explain how this is being used to get people to accept that maybe it's okay to treat trans people differently. Once you take that bait, then you are in the territory of, well, what else can we do to marginalize them? That's why we push back. But Cenk doesn't understand that because he likes to hear his own voice and doesn't shut the fuck up and listen to anybody else.
Do you guys remember Penny in the Pan?
Well, yes, we watched it live.
You guys remember Penny in the Pan, right?
Penny in the Pan.
Penny in the Pan.
Where you don't remember when we were watching
the debate? He was
during the debate. Yeah.
Fetus Penny in the Pan, like Penny was a fetus in a pan.
You guys, Matt, you thought it was so funny.
Now.
You kept
I don't remember
Penny in the Pan.
Yeah, at first I was like, I don't know what you're talking about now.
Was I here for this?
Wait, I don't remember. What?
You don't remember
either. It was the Joe Biden debate
live, and then he was talking about abortions, and he had the story, and then he was saying how, and I hate this, but she had a full term, I guess, abortion and threw the baby in the pan.
Oh yeah.
And they called
Penny
in the Pan.
I remember.
Okay.
Penny in the Pan.
Okay. Yes.
I was just saying it's giving Penny in the Pan. That's all I was saying.
Oh, I'm so glad
I
you brought
forgot
that
about
up.
that.
Yeah, I did forget about that. What a gem. Yeah, that's what they're doing. They have to make shit up.
Well, what I was going to say related to what you were talking about, I don't know if you remember Lady Ballers, the like the really shitty Daily Wire comedy. It was originally supposed to be a mockumentary/documentary, but they couldn't get any men to agree to go on HRT to try and to get into sports because all of them were too, like, obviously, like, I don't want my entire life completely changed because I'm not trans. It's going to give me dysphoria. I don't want to do that. And so they changed it to a really shitty comedy where it was just
Lance, wasn't it that they tried to just get men to put on wigs and apply for sports, but none of them would accept them?
They wanted them to try and get into the actual leagues, which would require them to go on HRT. And of course, they wouldn't do it because speaking to a doctor one time, they were like, "Oh shit, that's what's going to happen. I'm going to grow breasts. I'm going to, like, you know, blah blah blah." No, I don't want to do that. And then, like, yeah, because you're not trans. That makes sense. Why this was now? Do you not see? Like, does this not make you realize that this is what is happening to the other side? But like, no self.
Yeah, they think that, like, and to their credit, they're not saying this, but like with the whole bathroom predator thing, it's like you expect a person who's a predator to go through all the effort to get on HRT, grow breasts, identify from months as a woman, just to assault someone. They're just going to assault someone if they're going to do that. They're going to walk into the bathroom dressed as however they like. It's such like, clown shit.
Exactly. Like, why go through the whole fucking process when you could just commit the fucking
years on
assault,
HRT and my life changing completely? I can now abuse people.
They're going to create a little chain. 1 year on HRT, now I can finally go into a bathroom and prey on women. They're not going to do that, dumbass. Like, it's so frustrating. These people have baby brains and no critical thinking skills.
Yeah, like, isn't the, I don't know, it takes more balls to do the assaulting than it is to go into a woman's bathroom? Like if you're
the reality is the majority of people who are abusing women in bathrooms and otherwise are cis men. The majority of people who are sexual assaulters are cis men. Just across the board, it's cis men. That's who it is more than any other category. Mm-hmm. So if you care about that, then you should talk about that. You should be like, yes, we should really look into the people who commit the rapes and the assaults. It's typically friends and family, close people in relationships. The majority of people who are sexually assaulted are actually assaulted by close family members or partners, especially when it comes to child abuse. And they're overwhelmingly cis men. It's cis men who do it.
And they do the same.
We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about all the pastors and priests too, because
yeah, no shit.
You want to compare which group has more sexual predators. I'm willing to bet my whole life savings that it's going to be the priests and the pastors. But...
Yeah, right? No, they did. It's the same thing that they did for gay people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, gay people are predators in locker rooms. You can't let them play together. You can't let them be in the military together because they're going to be so horny. They're going to want to fuck everybody. Like, it's the same thing. It's this, like, myth about how promiscuous they are and how predatory they are.
It just sounds like a bunch of people who are, like, very scared that they're going to be pulled in because they themselves are gay, and that they feel so tempted.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Like it.
David, that's genius. Let's talk about that, because why was Grindr going down multiple times when they were where they were having the RNC?
Yeah.
Why was
that's
Grindr
the normal thing. That happens all the time.
Yeah,
anytime
you get 10. Anytime you get at least 10 conservatives in a room, Grindr has Grindr all of a sudden.
And Lindsey Graham's half the accounts.
In Republican states, like, let's talk about this. You guys really let's talk about deflection, because it's really giving deflection. It's giving fetishization. It's giving Alex Jones got caught with the trans porn and he doesn't want to talk about it.
They should bring Mike in the room just to point out each of the gay Republicans, because he's really good at that.
Literally. Oh my God. I can fucking sniff that out like a fucking pig snuffs out truffles.
Is this another one?
This guy. Look at this absolute
We have
fucking,
the most powerful gaydar in the world.
Look at this fucking homo. So last week he introduced a bill to outlaw gay marriage. And now he's trying to outlaw all porn because he has an addiction to gay porn, and he keeps praying after he jerks off to gay men. And then he's like, one more time, no more. Okay, this is it. And then he does it again. So he's like, you know what? This has to be banned. That's his whole thought process. He's so easy to read.
Caught?
Why would you give us?
He will. He has not got caught yet. But
the visual.
Wait, this is your prediction.
We see right through.
He's giving us a full visual.
This is not a heterosexual man. We see through you. We see you.
Why would you make it bigger?
The fucking, not to get into phrenology, but I mean, you could just measure his skull and know that this is not a heterosexual man. He was gay like the second he popped out. Okay, you're not fooling anybody, Josh. You're not fooling anybody. Okay,
please. Before somebody clips us and says that we're being homophobic.
Oh yeah, you should mention that you're gay. It's probably
the only person
not
saying anything.
That
the
was
only
the
person saying anything on here is
LGBTQ plus person.
No, I'm not. I'm
I plead the
homophobic.
fifth.
Clip this out of context. I hate gay people like Josh Schreiber.
I'm glad you said that as gay as possible, so that it's still obvious you are just joking.
I know when to enunciate, when to do the.
We leave it to you though.
Rebecca, what did you say?
Did you guys already talk about Al Green and the 10 white folks?
Oh yeah,
like adjacent
yeah,
people?
we called some.
Mike called 3 of them.
Did you want to call?
I'm glad I did the good.
Well,
I did the good work. I love that. I love that.
You can call. Did you want to make any calls, Rebecca? I have the graphic up of their numbers. It's up to you.
No, I'm good. I can call them, but like I am going to do a video, and it's going to be hard hitting.
Nice.
But I'm so sick of I'm glad that we're able to see this, but I'm sick of all of them. Not only the 10 white and white adjacent folks who are Democrats who are supposed to be on, Democrats have a really bad issue, and I hope people are clear of seeing that. And I love Jasmine Crockett, all the people, but I don't need us to be on social media doing dance TikToks while y'all supposed to be raising hell at the State of the Union. The fact that y'all let that man, Al Green, who is a graduate of my alma mater, Florida A&M University, but y'all let that man stand 10 toes down on his own. And you see, he kind of fragile. He got a cane. And him, literally doing the work by himself. And it's so heartbreaking to see the ones that I thought would be really supporting him.
Right. That
just
kills me
being
too.
performative in their pink or with their signs, or, I really thought it was going to be something in solidarity. Maybe somebody else was going to, scream out and be willing to take that hit, but nobody was willing to do it. And he did it on his own. And while they did walk him out, they didn't throw him out, but they walked him out and those type of things. I feel like a message was made, but then we weren't seeing the people. They were saying, well, people are walking out. Other Democrats are walking out as, the State of the Union is going on. And then when he looked at Elizabeth Warren and he called her Pocahontas at the State of the Union, I said, girl, you need to get up.
Yeah, she's
Stand
just up.
Yeah. What are we doing? Because the Nancy Pelosi clapping from back in the day is not giving anything right now. You guys, the right literally saying as, Representative Congressman Al Green was walking out, nah, 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 hey, goodbye.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know this.
I feel, sang it, baby. Sang it as a choir.
Wow.
And then I even felt like I heard somebody say ER, but maybe that was just me searching for it within the whiteness on the right.
I would not be surprised.
I felt like it was said. And I just feel like, it was embarrassing, but I love that he had, Representative Al Green kept his head held high. But it's the people online right now who are standing, or the people who were standing beside him as they were, I guess, whatever they were doing to him for what he did, those 10 people who chose for him to have that on his record, I would say, his political record as congressman, that he did that he caused a ruckus at the State of the Union as a congressman. And I know there's a word for it, but I don't know.
Censure?
But censure. And they were literally Democratic representatives saying, we're starting good trouble. Girl, you didn't do nothing. I saw you.
I know.
I saw you sitting down. There was a good camera shot of you, and you act like, ooh, they done got him. Or the other ones who were sitting on the other side who when he was standing up, they were just sitting there like, I don't know him. And that was so embarrassing. And this is why Democrats will always fail until they decided to stand up and actually be on one accord, because you got 10 folks, 10 of them, and they all white-ish. And they're they were okay with saying, or going against their own. On the Republican side, that'll be a rare thing that you see. Whether like we watched Marco
Leadership
Rubio
would never let them do that.
No, we watched Marco Rubio get ate up by Donald Trump. And you can see he was dead inside, as we said, as we watched it the other night. And you can see he was dead inside. He was taking it all, but he was not going to be like challenging that because he's a Republican and he knows that he needs to keep it, within the group right here. And so this is what we're going to see. And I'm like, Democrats will always lose for this particular reason. Y'all need to be standing up with each other. Y'all need to be fighting stuff. I don't care about y'all came, a little bit too late. We don't need to be singing slave hymns at this moment. I'm sorry. I hate it for them. I hate it for them so much. Like, we don't need the performativeness. All of that needs to be put to the side. I need action. I need all y'all. Like I was saying on Like It or Not that we did yesterday on my show yesterday. And I was saying like I would have loved to see like some of y'all thrown out like Jazzy Jeff from the Fresh Prince from Uncle Phil.
Yes.
Like I needed y'all to make a ruckus like that. I needed to see some of y'all in handcuffs. If y'all want to make good trouble, if y'all want to do these stances, it cannot be. Then again, love Representative Jasmine Crockett. I just think she didn't get it right this time. They hated it. And I couldn't watch the full video. Cringe. And then the women in pink, baby, what's that gonna do?
I know.
It's
just such a 2010 style politics. We're in 2020 now.
You can't be running plays from back in the day.
Elon lies.
2016, y'all was doing this stuff.
Taxes.
Yeah, this is like first Trump administration stuff.
Do you
Like
pay your
we're past
taxes?
that.
The sign's not this big.
Don't
what are we doing?
No,
Speaking of
wear a condom.
Yeah.
Speaking of, sorry, Mike, just real quick. Speaking of Jasmine Crockett, like I do love her. I think she's great, but it's like
I love her.
You can say all this stuff to. She's telling the camera like, "What's your message to Elon? Fuck off!" Like she's so loud and vocal on the camera, but then you go into a situation where you can actually like do something, and you're not doing it.
You did a TikTok video before the State of the Union, Jay.
Oh, yeah. And actually, I want to talk about that really quick. So that video is doing rounds, and this is why there's this whole debate of whether they should let non-political content creators go to these kinds of events because they try to court both political and non-political. But the person that uploaded that video is not a political content creator. So they created that reel thinking that it was going to be cute and relatable, not really understanding, because you and I understand, when we make content that we have to be mindful of everything around us. If you usually make makeup or food content, it's not your niche, so you don't know. And I think that's just like such a great example of just like how Democrats have been moving for the past 4 years, 4 or 5+ years, where it's like y'all are legit in La La Land. Like you're in La La Land. You operate like you're in La La Land. Like you are trying to convince me that Donald Trump is a Hitler fascist regime, and yet you're wearing pink, wearing shirts that says resist on it, little bingo cards, and then you're silently walking out. Like, it's not giving.
They literally said, oh, they got on the pink. They were giving, they didn't even show the faces of the people. It was giving like they're only in the shot because somebody's sitting next to them, or they did a wide shot, or they literally decided that when they saw how Al Green gave it up, that should have been the moment that Democrats were walking up behind him. That should have been the moment where they were screaming out different things.
Or do
something. They continue to sit there, and they thought that after that, their little idea that they came up with, where we were in the middle of the State of the Union, we'll get up and walk one by one. They were like, oh nah, listen, see what they're doing. We're not going to pan the camera on them. And
we didn't see that.
Simone Sanders had tweeted out, she said, they're not putting the camera on them. I'm getting reports they're not putting the camera on them, but Democrat representatives are getting up and walking out one by one. Well, girl, we didn't see it, sis. We didn't see it.
It didn't happen. It didn't happen. It didn't make a difference. You want to know what did make a difference? Al Green, because as soon as it got up, the press was there in his face, and they're like, they were asking, it's funny, one of the reporters was like, do you think that what you did was an effective way to get the message out? You're asking him what he said, and he's getting the chance now to explain how his constituents rely on Medicaid. This cannot be cut. It affects them directly. Yeah, I'd say that it was pretty fucking effective.
Absolutely.
Just,
and now he's the only one that's, and I don't like that all of a sudden I love some of these people and I mean it, but I don't want them to get caught up in the performative politics. That's all Democrats it doesn't work. It doesn't work for Democrats though. It's like, y'all have to do more than trying to appeal to, it ain't even Generation Z no more. They trying to skip diddly daddly do to the alphas. Baby, they not like leave people alone and get down to the right now. What's happening in the White House? We got things like Al Green was saying, like, man, this ain't no mandate. Like he say something, do something,
Show us that you're angry like we are. You want to speaking of performative cringe, do you want to see some performative cringe? This is gonna make your skin
because I get secondhand embarrassment really quickly, but let's see.
All right, so this is Hakeem Jeffries. His new strategy is to be more relatable, more personable. So he's putting on a hat. He's trying to wear like just regular clothes. This one is my favorite, where he puts on the sunglasses, and he tells Trump, "We don't need paid protesters, bro. The American people are with us." I'll just play a little bit so you all can see. This is so cringeworthy.
Just got back to the Capitol. Another day. Another lie from these people who are out of control. I'm told that Donald Trump, Mike Johnson, and the extreme MAGA Republicans are claiming that Democrats are sending paid protesters into their town hall meetings. What's wrong with y'all? What's wrong with y'all? We don't need to send paid protesters into your town hall meetings. The American people are with us. All across the country, people are rising up to push back against the assault on the economy, the assault on hardworking families, the assault on our democracy, and the assault on Medicaid. We don't need paid protesters, bro. The American
He actually dropped the bro. You got to, sir, you got to include the bro. Don't forget the bro.
Yeah, make sure it makes you more black.
Why were they using the ultra wide angle?
It was terrible for him.
Can I send one that's actually worse than that? Do I have permission?
Yeah.
Because I actually did a deep dive on his Twitter, and I was like, I need to find videos of him.
Oh, I forgot to mention earlier, because I mentioned this in the Majority Report earlier, when we were talking about the 10 Democrats that voted to censure Al Green. Hakeem Jeffries came out and said he didn't offer any sort of guidance on how his members should have voted on that one.
Of course.
He said they needed to vote how that was going to be best for them.
Of course.
But he did offer guidance before the joint address to say don't do anything.
That's right.
He told them to do nothing.
And I don't know if you saw that report. I don't know if you saw that report in Axios. Some sort of Dem insider leaked this to Axios. 4 Dems that did do small acts. I don't remember, we did mention earlier. I can't remember. 4 Dems that did do small acts of protest, like that representative from New Mexico that held up the sign that said this is not normal or whatever. Again, very small act of protest.
And, the person grabbed that?
Yeah, her, Maxwell Frost, Jasmine Crockett, and one other woman from Oregon or something. The Democratic Party called the 4 of them into a meeting to offer them guidance on how they should not be doing that going forward.
Humiliating.
They should not be carrying signs, holding them up.
Too much.
Any act of protest behind the silent signs or wearing the pink suits. Nothing that will disrupt. Nothing like that one little sign she held up in the aisle. None of that.
Don't they make like $150,000 a year? Am I wrong about that? They make like good money,
170.
right? Like,
no, it's almost 200 with all of the benefits.
Okay, so $200,000 a year, and you can't fight fascism. You can't even stand up to it. You have to wear a pink suit. That's it.
But the person that grabbed it, who was that? Did they get a meeting about how they should leave? How do they say it in kindergarten? Keep your hands to yourself. Like
that Republican got away scot-free, stealing that out of her hand.
The craziest thing to me was like, out of those 4 Dems that were mentioned that needed a reprimanding or a talking to or whatever it was, I didn't even know 3 out of 4 of them protested. I had no idea 3 out of 4 of them did anything.
It wasn't televised. The revolution that they thought would be televised was not.
But
Republicans probably complained.
I just want to point out that the actions of these 4 Democrats which 3 out of 4 of them we didn't even know did anything. Even that was too much for the Democrats.
It's too disruptive. Can't have that. Gotta
It's
bow down.
because they offended
Make it-
Republicans. Some Republican
Because I feel
lawmaker
like-
probably
and-
freaked out, and that's why.
And with what we're seeing right now too is, okay, the people that have the audacity, they are gonna make a spectacle out of that one black representative, and then it be your own people. That's the saddest thing. It be your own people. And they mostly white, to me, all white adjacent. Democrat peers, they even look at you as, why did you even start this ruckus? Why? And that's why, again, the Democrats will always lose when you have all those people on the right who aren't afraid to challenge, to put their hands on people.
They stormed the Capitol building. They tried to hang like Pence.
I literally said, how are y'all sitting here when this is an opportunity for you guys to get your get back from these people on the right? Purchased buses, made opened up pages on
They
Facebook.
turned into Spider-Man.
All of it, and they led their constituents into your offices to take away your security buttons at the bottom of your desk just for whatever they were. They came with ropes and all kinds of stuff you don't know what was going to be done. They challenged the officers there, right? People died, okay? And they, like I said, they defecated on your desk. They stole Nancy Pelosi's laptop. They left blood behind as some kind of marker. They said really racist things. They didn't care who they were going to run into at the time
too and stuff.
Yep. Some of the people that were there were barricading themselves in their offices, afraid. All of these type of things. Here was your moment to even yell those things out about January 6th in the room. Something. Trump stole the election or tried to steal the election. Facts could have been yelled out at that time. Y'all could have stood for something. This is the time, because when all these politicians go and sit as analysts on CNN, MSNBC, all these things, they go and sit. They have everything to say. They are challenging the other analysts who are Republicans, and we're talking about Congress people sitting at these tables. I love to watch Jasmine Crockett and all of her fire sitting on, as a panelist, at Abby Phillips' show on CNN. And she doesn't mince any words. She gives it to him straight. And I'm like, wow, this is powerful. She's the one that stands outside with all this fervor. And I believe that this is her true self. I don't want her to get lost in the performativeness. I hope she watched herself back, because I've seen her. And I didn't know she was there when I watched that video again of Al Green, because I watched a million different angles and all this stuff. She was in the back watching very silently. Right? Don't know if she had something in her mind planned, where she thought that she was going to get up and it was going to be televised. They did not. They literally made sure the camera was no longer focused on that side of the room, unless it was a wide shot just because. But all of that the performativeness, no, y'all needed to fight. Show some fight for the people who literally you guys are the ones in power, not us. So we look for you guys to make more of a difference. It cannot just be.
And if you're paid the same as a doctor, come on. If you're making the same salary as a doctor, you can stand the fuck up for one day in a fucking month and do something other than just being like, wear a rubber, put on your seatbelt.
Like pay your taxes, girl. We've been saying that for almost 8 years now. If over 8 years now, we got to move on. What are we doing? We've been telling that man to pay his taxes. He don't pay his taxes. We called him a felon. Somebody should have got up and yelled when he was talking about criminals being immigrants being criminals. They could have got up and said felon, like something. They gave us nothing.
It's just to be like a leftist in this country, even to be a liberal these days, is just to be perpetually disappointed and never ever get the ferocity that you see on the right. They are evil, they are terrible people, but they get what the fuck they want. Conservatives fight for their agenda. Democrats do not fight for their agenda. They try to stop people who even want to do a symbolic thing to advance their agenda. It's so frustrating.
Before we wrap here, I do want to, since I mentioned Canada in my title, I think it's important to mention Canada this week with the tariff war going on.
Canada was showing out, and I kind of like
we are fighting back. And I just got to, it's been a weird week for me because I do not like our premier, who is Doug Ford in Ontario. And he just recently won another majority election. But in terms of his rhetoric and his appearances on television, He's been doing pretty good, and it's bizarre. He even praised Tim Walz, which I just thought was a really weird thing.
Well, they called each other. Apparently, they're friends.
Yeah, they had a conversation. Says he got off the phone with Minnesota Governor Walz. Quote, "What a gentleman he is. What an absolute champion he is." And then I saw this where he's talking shit about Ron DeSantis.
Okay, I would
just
love
a
to
very
hear.
weird world that we're living in.
3.2 million Canadians go to Florida every single year. They own $30 billion with a B, $1 billion worth of real estate. They pay $1 billion of taxes, and they spend approximately $10 billion. And guess what Governor DeSantis says? Well, they'll still come down. And I'm sure they will. But what an attitude. You know, what an attitude. He should be grateful 3.2 million Canadians come down there. And again, I'm not blaming the people, the residents of Florida. They're great people. I'm not telling people don't travel or anything. But when you're in Canada, do your very best, very, very best. Buy Canadian products. And as well, in my next press conference, I'll come out with all the cars that we manufacture right here in Ontario, through Toyota, through Honda, through General Motors. I know Stellantis is retooling, as well as Ford. And Volkswagen, we want to continue moving forward, building the largest battery facility in North America.
Not the girls are fighting.
Wow. Well, it's awesome that he's canceled Starlink. That's dope.
Yeah. Yes, and he canceled
more of that.
The Starlink deal with Elon Musk, $100 million. Which, by the way, that deal was fucking ridiculous to begin with. Like, absolutely insane. That there are so many other ways you can deliver internet to remote areas. You don't need Starlink. But anyways, yeah, that's canceled, and it's weird that this moment is making him likable for a lot of people. Like, now I'm still very aware of how shitty he is when it comes to healthcare, when it comes to he canceled a wage increase when he first came in. Like, there's
he's a massive piece
privatization. He gave away or tried to give away the green belt to like his corporate buddies. Like, there's so many shitty things he has done. But
wait, what could possibly be shitty? What could you possibly have done to be shitty about healthcare in Canada? What the your premiums?
So
your
healthcare
premiums
is administered by the provinces. Well, healthcare is administered by the provinces. So he gets to decide where healthcare actually, like, how much he's actually spending in it. And there's Ontario per capita spends the least amount in healthcare. And so there's issues with like people finding family doctors. There's not enough family doctors here. He's outsourced.
He effectively gutted mental health sources in the province, but then tried to combat the media like covering that story by suddenly announcing that liquor was going to be way cheaper, and he was going to get rid of all the taxation on liquor and stuff like that. And he's done that 3 times in a row. Well, he'll gut public health care and then do something related to liquor. Be like, but fuck a beer. Beer is going to be cheap now, so that'll solve it.
He's underpaid or capped nurses' pay and then outsourced nursing through a staffing agency, which is costing more than just paying the nurses directly. Yeah, but
the
I just
evil
want to
girls seem to be fighting. Yeah,
I just want to compare that to this clown. So Pierre Poilievre, this is the conservative leader in Canada, and they were doing very, 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 very well in polls before Trudeau announced his resignation. And there's a leadership race going on right now. And before Trump came in and was inaugurated. But since Trump was inaugurated and all this stuff has become real with the tariffs and everything, their support is dropping massively. And this is a guy who essentially, think of him kind of like a Ted Cruz, where he very much is Trumpian. He just isn't as
Milhouse from
overt or outlandish as Trump is. But here he is trying to deny that he is MAGA, and his body is physically rejecting the words.
About President Trump's comments on me. The president says that he doesn't like me. He doesn't think that I'm a MAGA guy. I am not. It is true that I am Canada first. I am only for Canada. I'm fighting for the interests of this people and this country. And if that upsets foreign leaders, including the American president, I'm fine with that, because I have one job to do, and it's to fight for this country. About President Trump.
Oh, he couldn't get it out for real because he's been so used to saying that he's one thing, and now he has to,
one of his advisors is MAGA, has been openly MAGA. It's absurd to try and claim now. Elon Musk is one of his biggest boosters online. Yeah, quote tweets his speeches and goes, "Awesome, this is great. He should be the next prime minister." and now you're gonna come out and pretend you're not MAGA or like he would be the absolute worst person to lead the country right now. He'd be terrible regardless. But like this man, you cannot trust with anything in regards to what Trump wants to do.
There's no American liquor in any of the liquor stores in my province now. All the American liquor has been replaced with signs that say "Buy Canadian" instead.
Same here.
Already?
Yeah.
Oh, they took that shit down.
Yeah, they took it all down.
I love that so much.
Me too.
Yeah,
Look, I
hell
love
yeah.
it.
When I go to the liquor store, I'm gonna buy Canadian. Okay.
Nice.
I
In
support that
solidarity.
movement so much. Or
Nice.
Mexican. Yeah, Mexican, Canadian.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Mexican.
Good
Also
time to get
America.
tequila, mezcal,
Anything.
mezcal
Yes.
time. Hell
Anything
yeah.
outside of American liquor.
Yep. I mean, American companies are seeing some boycotts too. There's a Bishop just launched a huge Target boycott for 40 days because they ended DEI. Last Friday, the 28th of February, was the economic blackout. Not really sure how big of an impact that had. Americans are starting to learn that you have a lot of power if you join together and you deny money. If you don't spend money and you really target it, you can make some CEOs pissed off. I think that's
Come
a great way to
visit
do it.
Canada, lefties and friends. Come over here. Your dollar goes farther. Your purchasing power. Great time to take a vacation. Come check out Vancouver. Come say hello. You know, good time to party in Canada.
Yeah, and
Maybe
I need to visit. I need to visit.
Yeah.
Well,
I've always been a big fan of Canada, thanks to Bret the Hitman Hart. So
It's always wrestling with you, Binder.
Well, I've always been a fan of Canada because of David Doel and Lance from the Serfs.
Oh,
shit!
bad.
Look at that! Look at that!
Can I ask you guys?
Pandering.
Has
working.
Canada finally?
Yeah,
has
works for me.
Has Canada finally turned on Wayne Gretzky?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
We fucking hate Wayne
For a
Gretzky.
while now.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
There's articles.
But
about it.
he turned on Canada. He's pro-Trump.
Sports
Right.
networks have talked like it's past just like news and politics. Like it's in the sports world, and they're people are not happy with the Wayne loving Trump, or just at the very least being at his inauguration and shit. Like that there is.
He wears like MAGA hats and stuff like that.
There's a picture of him in a MAGA head, with Trump. But like he's trying to use other people right now as a proxy to try and clean his reputation. Like there was an article in the Sun, I forget who wrote it now, but it was another hockey player who's like, "Don't hate Wayne Gretzky, he's a great person." And then
his wife made a statement that was like, "I'm fully."
his
Canadian,
wife put out a
my
statement.
country." Yeah,
he called Max Domi, he's a player for the Leafs. Like I don't know, like the day before he scored a goal, and Max brought that up, and he was talking to the media. He's like, "Oh, Wayne called me, such a great guy." Like Gretzky's trying to like clean himself when all he has to do is come out and say, "I don't agree with Trump. I don't like what's happening. I don't agree with this," and it would go a long way to people feeling differently. But
his wine is plummeting in sales apparently too.
Good.
Fuck yeah. He's a traitor. He's a fucking traitor.
Ovechkin's about to overtake his goal scoring record. He's like 10.
Oh really? Oh wow!
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He's like 10 goals.
Good for Ovechkin. That's incredible.
He's going to do it this season, almost definitely. Or very close to. So, looking forward.
He's gonna get that 11th goal, and come out and say, "I just want to thank President Trump."
True.
Well, I don't want to mention
to
Ovechkin, but Ovechkin, I'm pretty sure, is fairly pro Putin.
Yeah.
But,
Oh well, yeah, he's yeah.
but I mean,
So
he's
he's probably
what else is he
Trump
gonna do? He's
Yeah.
he doesn't want to get, I guess, killed by Putin.
Sometimes it's nice to just be like to have somebody pass the other person, even if they're also shitty, as a fuck you to that person.
Yeah, it's
I'm petty like that. By the way, Ariana shared the video of Hakeem Jeffries that was more cringe, and I watched like 10 seconds of it, and yeah, she was not playing. Do we want to watch that before going to super chats?
Yeah, play it.
Yes, and then let's do the supers.
All right.
Oh God, is he at a morgue?
He's ready to thumb point hard. Thumb pointing is going to be ferocious.
This is a tragedy that occurred above DCA airport. Lives have been lost. Families have been devastated. People are suffering.
Oh God.
And the leader of this country decides to go out and peddle lies, conspiracy theories, and attack people of color and women.
Imagine
without
driving
any
by and
basis
seeing this dude
I know.
filming a video.
whatsoever. Have you no decency?
What's the hand?
Have you know these?
Have you no respect?
And the pause.
For the family?
So awkward.
The car's going by.
Turn
The
upside
car
down.
just crashed. The car's driving by.
This is a tragedy that occurred.
The car's
Oh
driving
my
by is killing me.
God.
It's
What happened
so
to picking-
bad.
What happened to picking
That's
leaders based
so
on their ability
weird.
to like communicate? Like
They needed a
Why
DEI.
So
right?
strange.
Why can't he just
I'm
like
so
talk
confused.
normally? Like it seems like he's trying to pull like, you know, like like some
Well-
people have a natural way of, you know, doing that sort of orator speech.
He
Like
ain't got it.
Obama was very good at it, obviously,
Yeah.
and he's trying to do that, like emphasize every single word, but he's not natural. It's not natural.
it's not natural.
The problem
Yeah.
is because he's trying to keep the talking points in order. He has to go through point A, point B. Like, you know how Democrats, they always are like, well, three things that we're doing first. Like, that's how they keep their thoughts organized. Some of them don't do that vocally.
Like
Others are
ChatGPT.
like, exactly. They go through it in their mind. So he
Yeah.
has to make sure he hits every single
That's
research.
probably what they were holding. They probably were holding up
Yeah.
like a sign with the points, and then he was like,
That's possible too.
yeah,
Yeah. It's really.
next vid-
I mean, just talk like a human, man. That's not how you talk in real life.
It's crazy.
The next video of him is going to be like, I'm here on the tarmac.
Oh yeah. On the highest top, and he's gonna be giving at this point the Martin Luther King voice. At this seems like he's really trying to go somewhere. There was the other, I don't know who it was, the person who was praying over the whatever. What was it in January when Donald Trump became president?
The guy who launched the crypto coin after.
Well, it
the
was so
preacher
whack.
guy.
It
Yeah.
was like, who does this guy think he's in? I'm like, it's not. It can only be one. Like, if you're really not a preacher, it's gonna give acting. See the performativeness, but the Republicans ride with that. Democrats, y'all look. I hate to say it, it's just cringy. Like it could be cringy on the right, but they gonna support and they're gonna be like, wow, that was so amazing. These people are doing stuff and Democrats ain't even supported it. They ain't watching, they ain't liking, they ain't doing nothing. They don't support their own.
Did you guys see
Republicans are
Jasmine
brainless
Crockett's
NPCs.
video?
We're not.
No, I
Which
couldn't
video?
watch it. You talking about the video she's dancing to They Not Like Us?
Yeah, I feel like we should watch it.
I don't
didn't
feel
see
like
that one.
okay. Look,
Wait, what
If there's
happened?
music,
Because-
we can't play the music.
Put the volume down. I want to see the dance.
I feel like we
That's
should
actually
watch
not
it.
no, I
true.
can't
You're
do
allowed
it.
to
See,
play that song on
I feel
stream.
like no, I can't.
Oh, you can.
Oh yeah.
On
Yeah, I
YouTube, you
think-
can play that music.
Kendrick didn't DMCA strike it so that people like there's a lot of content creators within the Black community who basically review hip hop albums and stuff, and he wanted them to
And they-
basically get paid, and so he
Mhm.
allowed them to not get copyright strike. It was really cool. It's like one of those badass.
At the
things.
beginning, when it first came out, I don't know what it's doing
Yeah.
now though.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
true. Actually, that was when
I'll
it first
just-
came up. But yeah,
Yeah, I can mute it just to be on the
Then
safe
we should
side.
mute it.
you all know
You
what
want me
it's.
to send it?
Yeah.
You got
I
it.
love her so much, and I would love this on a different day, but not this one.
It's a cultural.
I can't watch it.
Can't watch.
I just feel like I shouldn't see lawmakers having fun right now. Like that's
Yes. Thank you.
kinda
I
how I
want them to be
feel.
as
Listen,
miserable
even-
as we are.
They not in the right direction. I just can't watch it.
Oh yeah.
yeah. This is
Wait, I didn't even notice they were going opposite directions.
Oh
And I'm like,
no.
My beautiful Black sisters, not my camera, but my beautiful Black sisters. I said, Lord, no, because I love her. I mean it, and I support her, and I think that she is very gritty, and I think that she's very real, authentic. But this moment, I feel like not at this time, not before the State of the Union. We needed that one that was getting interviewed and saying, you know, Elon Musk needs to fuck off, or the same one that's in the interviews with Abby Phillips and telling the people that she's sitting in front of to get it right. To, you know, she's challenging them. I just didn't. And then they wasn't doing it right. They didn't have enough practice. I didn't want it.
I didn't
want
see that they were all out of step.
It's pretty bad.
Politicians, I beg of you, stop trying to fucking be cool. Just please.
It's just like, listen, like,
just give us
You're
healthcare.
not a content creator, but like, I love Jasmine Crockett, but this goes for any of them making TikToks right now, or even being a part of dancing TikToks. Like, you're not a content creator, you're a politician.
All of them.
Please do
All
your
of them.
job.
Black,
Like,
white,
so-
or in between. But
exactly.
still-
Like, I don't want to see you dancing. I don't want to see you,
To be fair, I especially-
avoiding any other. I just don't want to see it. I just don't.
I especially don't want to see some old white politician dancing to Not Like Us.
And it's
Please
been
don't do
done though.
that.
I would like to see
I've
Chuck
seen
dance
Elizabeth
to it. That would be
Warren doing little
hilarious.
dances, but when like what during the Biden administration, I've seen her doing little dances. You know, I've seen a lot of them take the, and I get it. They want to appeal to the young at that time, especially. They want to appeal to the younger audiences, and here's the thing: the conservatives are using the platform for sure, and they're talking to the right wing podcasters and all this other stuff, but they literally ride for each other, right, wrong, or in between. Here on this side, baby, y'all all over the place, and we know y'all can't be doing this while none of the other stuff is sticking. You decided to take time to practice, and then when the product came out, it wasn't strong.
I feel like you do that dance after Trump's like out of office. Like,
I would, or
exactly.
Or if you went over there and made some
died.
noise and then did that TikTok, like if that would be more acceptable to me. But you did it right before that, and I thought
I agree with you, Lance.
I thought she was protesting the whole. I
heard
thought she wasn't
that.
going to be there, but she was there, and
Also, I don't know if you guys noticed, but she was wearing like her jacket or her cardigan. No, excuse me, her blazer had snowflakes on it to like represent that Republicans are snowflakes. And I'm just
I
like,
thought maybe she had like dandruff or something.
it was,
That's what you're saying.
It was and look, her outfit was cute, but I would have never caught that. Like, see, it just
right,
wasn't
like. I just needed to be more effective. You know what I mean? Like
Nobody
I should
gonna pick
have
up
to look
on
at your
that.
video 3 times to figure that out. You know what I mean?
And I didn't
You wanna-
watch it once. That was my first time watching it all the way through because it did something to me. I had the secondhand embarrassment. I watched it on mute, and I already know what she was dancing to. It was just,
I do have a palate cleanser for you all. So we've seen all this cringe, so we need to see something that's more authentic. This is really quick. If you all are interested,
go ahead.
Just how a politician should be if they want to come off as authentic.
I'm just chilling in Cedar Rapids.
That's how you do it.
That's
I thought it was going to be the hot
honestly
sauce
a little
clip.
more authentic than like Hakeem Jeffries is.
Honestly,
I carry a bottle of hot sauce.
The hot sauce was a mess too.
I love
That was
hot sauce.
I hated that for her. I don't even like her, but I hated it all. And
Wait, who did the hot sauce again?
Hillary. She was
because of the Beyonce
spicy
song,
food.
the hot
she's
sauce
like,
in
oh,
my bag.
I carry a
flag.
bottle of hot sauce in my purse. It was like,
And
no,
then that
you
was her.
don't. Why would you?
Also,
Hillary
this
is just such an unlikable fucking person.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. Wait, did you guys see the Call Her Daddy interview with Monica Lewinsky?
No.
Apparently it's good.
No.
Is what I
I
heard.
love Monica
interview?
Lewinsky. I
Wait,
watched a
wait.
TED Talk with her. She's great.
She's good.
So,
Yeah.
Monica Lewinsky just went on the Call Her Daddy podcast, and like she was talking about how her whole entire life was fucking ruined. And like, listen, she was an adult when the whole scandal broke, so like I get it, but like she was a 22-year-old intern. He's a 49-year-old fucking president.
President of
Like
the
the power
United
dynamics were
States.
completely off.
Yeah.
And she was just talking about how like Hillary and how Clinton just like her life was just like destroyed completely. And I'm just like, how is Hillary Clinton such a feminist fucking icon? Like,
No, she's
I don't
been
get it. I don't
protecting. She's
understand.
been
I'm
protecting
Haitian.
a
I
pedophile
can't like
rapist for
her.
years. Yeah.
Well, did you hear
she's
the
horrible.
worst part about that? I don't know if it was brought up on that podcast, but the way that Bill Clinton made it up to Hillary after cheating on her with Monica Lewinsky is he bombed a country. I can't remember which country it is. This is a true story.
No way.
It's a true story.
Syria? No, that's not
Don't
why
be
Syria
bringing
was.
the.
I don't remember what country it is. He bombed a country for her to make it up to her. I have not fucking. Let me find it. Let me
This
find
sounds
it.
like fake news, Mike.
No,
I don't
that sounds
know.
like-
Please,
sounds like
Mike.
lefty-anon.
Allegedly.
It sounds like you saw a
Allegedly.
Facebook post. And you
Oh
just
yeah, it's
posted
giving.
it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
giving
you're talking about,
Facebook
like, did he-
post vibes right there.
Did he stop the Bosnian genocide or what?
Yeah, this
I
is
did for
allegedly,
you.
guys. This is
Did Bill
not
Clinton
confirmed.
did Bill
This
Clinton have
is-
11
Clinton
fingers in the
has to sue
picture?
the fuck out of us.
This is not confirmed. Let's
Sounds
be
like some
clear.
AI shit to me.
I mean, I believe that he would do something like that. I just
Yeah,
don't
no, I
think
do
that-
too. But it's allegedly, reportedly,
It was Serbia, apparently.
allegedly,
Wait,
reportedly.
so it's real?
It's definitely
okay. Hang on. Let me.
That's not why the Serbian missile crisis.
According
a
to
biography of Hillary Clinton, written by Gail Sheehy and published in late 1999, stated that Mrs. Clinton had refused to talk to the president for 8 months after the Monica Lewinsky scandal broke. She resumed talking to her husband only when she phoned him and urged him in the strongest terms to beginning bombing Serbia. The president began bombing within 24 hours, Alexander Cockburn observed in the Los Angeles Times.
Does Serbia
Fact
have
check
6
me.
fingers in the picture? Because I don't know if I believe that story.
I mean, it's based on a secondhand testimony, right? So
based
take
on the
from it what you will.
secondhand testimony.
Yeah,
and I probably would take nothing, but you know, off the record, I believe they did it. They are monsters. So I believe
Yeah,
they
no,
did it. 100%.
Off the record.
But,
okay,
you
I
know,
will say
allegedly, according to
it's
reported
more
by-
of a speculative. There's people are a little bit well, this headline kind of, you can't see the headline. God damn it.
I'm
there's a
guessing
big
something
paywall.
happened that triggered it for her to call.
So it's like, it says it's like a question if it was meant to distract. Clinton's airstrike motives question. Many wonder if attack was meant to distract from Lewinsky.
Where are you reading
matter.
that at? We reading $1 for 6
I'm reading
months.
$1 for 6 months.
I'm reading the URL. So
Okay, good.
Mike has
I'm like,
X-ray
how are you
vision. Like, what the hell?
no, I'm looking at the URL. Yeah. So okay, it's questionable, but it's possible. There is some evidence that he bombed Serbia to make it up to Hillary. What a king! I mean,
Anyways, it's
what
very
has your
late.
husband done for you lately, ladies?
Oh, Hillary.
Oh, like,
Hillary
I'm just
strikes
saying
again.
that I just, oh my God, when they brought out Bill Clinton to speak at the DNC, I was like, why are we doing
That man should be in jail.
Why?
Yes.
Like Michelle Obama and Barack Obama, I get. That makes sense. Hillary Clinton
I don't get that either.
and Bill Clinton.
No,
Specifically,
Obama
Bill
would-
Clinton does not
No,
make sense.
I get why from a strategic standpoint they're still enormously popular, especially like Michelle Obama is an incredibly popular.
Oh, no,
figure.
I love
like,
yes.
Bill,
no,
Bill,
the Obamas
Bill,
are very
Bill
popular.
Clinton
They got-
is an
they're
Epstein
problematic
Files
too.
like rapist pedophile. Like that.
The
that
Obamas
man
are
should be in
also
jail.
Exactly.
The
Yeah.
Obamas are also very popular with independents. Obama is
Yeah.
very popular.
Great
period.
people.
Like
Great
Obama
people.
would have defeated if Obama could run forever. He probably would
Oh,
have
100%.
won every
Yeah.
single time. Yeah.
When
Oh,
I
yeah, of
choose, you know, they all done something bad. I would say that they all got a little blood on their hands just because.
Well, in
becoming
Obama's
president
case,
of
a
the
lot
United
of
States.
blood. I mean,
Yeah, and I get it, and I understand it.
he's
And
a war criminal. All
but-
U.S.
but-
presidents are.
they all of them pretty much are, but they they went through a lot.
What a
I'll
public
say that.
speaker.
But I would
What a
say
public speaker.
I absolutely, and it's probably because they black. You know, I know they're very problematic, and in my household, amongst us, we know we speak about the problems. We know, but for what's happening at the DNC, I'm like, y'all bringing everybody else. Why not them? But Hillary Clinton and folks, you know, I don't like them. And again, it's probably because I'm Haitian. Hate them, don't like them, just wish they would go away.
They're war
I don't want to
criminals.
see them, don't want to hear about them. How Mike feels about old people, that's how I feel about Hillary Clinton.
Oh yeah, I despise Hillary Clinton. She decimated
gotta
Libya. That
say-
used to be the richest country in Africa, and she destroyed it.
When I brought up the conspiracy and possibility of Bill and Hillary, somebody sent in the super chat. The timing is not good, my
Oh
friend.
my
Please,
God.
please,
Oh
please,
my God.
please stop.
Yeah.
You're barking up the wrong tree, my friend. Wrong fucking
God,
tree.
with that last segment, I'm not surprised.
Speaking of super chats,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes, good
I'm
segue,
sleeping.
Can I
David.
just share one very nostalgic video of Obama?
I mean,
How
David
long
will
is it?
probably say
Is it
no to
3
you.
seconds?
Like 30 seconds.
I don't need Obama nostalgia.
Do we need to hear
Okay,
Obama?
never mind.
Is it worthy of playing? Is it good enough? Is it relevant?
I love Obama.
I mean, it's just him in 2008, and it just shows the difference in how politicians. It shows like the sheer difference.
Just go ahead, just play it.
in, like,
Just play it. But we could have finished watching it by now.
Okay, listen, like I watched this video and I was around 7 or 8. I was pretty young when Barack Obama was running and it just gave me a lot of nostalgia and I was like, damn, this is how American politics used to be. And like, listen, I'm Middle Eastern. Like I don't, I have my feelings about Obama, but it's just crazy like where we've gotten, I don't know.
All right.
That's crazy. You were like, you said you were like 6 or 7? Girl, I was like my first year in college.
Yeah, I'm pulling it in.
The
yeah, I was in my first year in college too, Rebecca.
Yeah.
Even Bender's time. Look at this.
Well, I was 10 to be. No, I was like in 6th and 7th grade. Like I was pretty young.
That is young. Yeah,
that's really young.
Really making us feel old, Ariana.
The fact that this is nostalgia to you is crazy. But go ahead.
I know. Okay.
As Lincoln said to a nation far more divided than ours, we are not enemies, but friends. Though passion may have strained, it must not break our bonds of affection. To those Americans whose support I have yet to earn, I may not have won your vote tonight, but I hear your voices. I need your help, and I will be your president too.
Are we gonna get a copyright strike now for this music?
What's with the 80s synthwave music behind Obama?
I'm noticing a lot of music being put behind speeches, and it's ruining all the speeches. I can't even listen to them. Like stop putting the music behind speeches, people. It's
crazy.
I guess it's the TikTok thing, but like it ruins the speeches.
Can I be honest?
The Stranger Things logo to pop up.
It was cute, girl, but that was for me, that was like yesterday. Meanwhile, that was like a long time ago. But that was my first year in college. He came to our university that year, and it was such a big deal. And
that made me hate Obama so much more, if I'm being 100% honest.
Really?
Yeah, because
that wasn't
it's like
a good Obama speech.
You pull out a quote from Abraham Lincoln that makes him look like a cuck, where it's like, oh, we're doing the Civil War, but we could be friends. No, you kill those motherfuckers. They want slavery. You chop their heads off, bitch. What? You're not gonna be friends with them?
Okay,
Excuse me, that's the quote you bring.
Maybe it's the wrong crowd, but I'm just saying, like, it's just like the change in politics, the change in the way people see each other.
I get what you're saying. Crazy. I get what you're saying, Mama.
Come here, friend. Come here, friend. Get your hand on the guillotine. Chop. That's what
it ain't talking about the words. You're talking about the vibe, like how we don't have that anymore.
No, I get it.
Yeah, but I don't care about. I want the Obama. Like Obama has some really great early speeches where he's like using his activist voice, and he really, it's really powerful and good stuff.
No.
I want,
and we don't get that anymore. We got Donald Trump who doesn't know how to read a teleprompter, hold a Bible.
And he talks like this now.
It's so crazy. It's so what we saw at the State of the Union is the best that we'll get. And that's unfortunate because we have like 3.75 more years of this.
Unless the fast food takes its course. Do your job, Chick-fil-A. Do your job, McDonald's. Flow through his veins.
All right, let's get out of here. David, come on. I know you want to get out of here. Me too. I'm sleepy. Let's go ahead and read them super chats.
Oh, you want me to go first? Oh, gladly. Sal, thank you. Finally, David is here. We need you. Thank you so much. Donald James. When I find you. Here's to another 37 months. Cheers. Oh, thank you for being a member for 37 months. Wow. Incredible.
Damn.
Sell again.
It's about how old Ariana is, according to her.
One question: why are y'all so surprised about Dems giving up?
Not surprised.
Not surprised.
People always confuse like anger or frustration with surprise.
Not surprised.
But
it's
also,
not surprise.
Also, though, like we do have like a comparison of how they were in 2017, and they were much more the resistance to Trump then. This is just sad, really. Like what we're living through now. This is just sad.
AK with a $20 super chat. Thank you so much. Says David, glad to have you back on the Leftist Mafia. You definitely missed.
They miss you every time you're not here. It's crazy.
Really? Why?
Yeah.
If you go look at the comments, there's so much from like on the video. It's not the same without David.
Where's David? Why is he not here? And I'm like, he's just me making excuses.
I thought you said you guys miss me. I'm like, that's not true. You guys don't.
We did not miss you, David. No,
I miss you too.
David misses the show and then logs into all of his different accounts and starts typing. I miss David.
Where's
so
David?
much. Where's David?
David has 4 different libtardo1 accounts that he uses to glaze
If only I had
himself
that
up.
much free time on my hands. I can't even find. Okay, this chat is up. I cannot even find it on the page now to take it off the page.
I'll remember it. The one that glazes David. Don't read it.
Let me
trust me. I won't.
Let me find Cyborg, which shouldn't be hard. It's yellow. Here we go. Cyborg, thank you for your $10 super chat. Says, as an American, I feel an obligation to apologize and offer this small token. Thank you so much. I'll use that to buy Canadian liquor. So much appreciated. Donna, thank you for your super chat. Says, some leaves refuse to fall. Am I reading that properly?
Yep.
Thank you so much. Kristen, thank you for your $10 super chat. Says, I'm really happy that Walz has been coming out doing so many based things. He came out an hour ago saying we'll be hiring vets who have been let go by Doge.
Oh.
Tim Walz,
yeah.
I know it's early to talk about
man.
a potential run, but if an election is going to happen again, I think he should be part of that discussion.
Yeah,
contender for sure. Yeah,
he's like top of my list basically right now.
Kathy, thank you for a $20 super chat. Says Gavin Newsom ran on California-based single-payer universal health care. He's more than halfway through his second and last term, but has blocked all attempts to pass CalCare bills through our state legislature. Hasn't he also like blocked bills to have to do with like unionization around like?
Yes, he's blocked a bunch of bills.
Yeah,
jeez.
He's not a good politician or not a good person. Taco, where's Taco? I could just read it out. May not find all these. Here it is. Taco, thank you. Says leftist feet greater than mega feet. Sure. And I got a few more. The Lumpy Lodge. Or sorry, the Lupin Lodge, the Lumpy Lodge. Oh, I thought I had it and I don't. Okay, I'll just read it because I'm not going to find it. Says, lived in Kamloops, BC, Peterborough, Ontario in college. I miss it, unfortunately, because of my DUIs. They won't let me back. Propaganda best punk band. Yeah, probably shouldn't have done those DUIs. But I'm glad you enjoyed your time here.
Canada is real strict about that, aren't they? I don't know if other countries are as. Yeah,
well, I guess Trump's going to be let in, though, even though he's a fucking felon. So, I don't know. Justin, thank you for your super chat. Says, I don't like that Crockett supports Israel. Yeah, I didn't want to bring that up, but that's probably worth it.
Wait, I thought she was silent on Israel.
I'm pretty sure she's been. I saw an AIPAC post about her getting AIPAC money. And
well, then fuck her.
Wait, are you
I
serious?
didn't know that.
I don't quote me on that, but I remember seeing that.
She doesn't have good politics. I thought we've discussed. Well, at least I've discussed this.
She's an effective messenger, but policy wise, I don't hear policy a lot. I hear some good clapbacks at Republicans, which I appreciate, but policy wise, don't hear her talk much about policy.
She does not take money from AIPAC.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Then
I
take back the fuck her.
But she still votes to enable genocide in Palestine.
Then I reinstate the fuck you.
So she does. So she does it for the hell of it. Then she does it out of the pure hatred of Palestinians.
For the memes?
I guess that's better. I don't know.
Damn.
Lawn Gnomes, last one here. Thank you. Says, at this point, can we at least get Obama to apologize for allowing Russia to take Crimea in 2014? I just feel like
what was he supposed to do? Like,
I
he
just
put
feel like
sanctions on them at the time.
We're in a worse situation than having to worry about like apologies from Obama. Other shit going on. One more, Justin. Thank you. I'm not going to find it. Oh, here it is. Last one. She did the Israel has the right to defend.
Ugh.
I guess that's what.
I mean, to be fair, even Bernie has said that. So I mean,
that's true.
Everyone said that. Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, they all did that. They all said it.
Yeah. In terms,
wait, I don't know about Rashida, but I
don't think
Rashida. Are you talking about Bill, Justin, or is that
Rashida Tlaib definitely did not say Israel.
No, she didn't say that. But most of the Democrats definitely were wording with that talking point for sure.
But is that a bill that Justin's talking about, or is that just a statement? Because they all say that.
It's probably a statement.
Yeah.
Last one, from Kowalski, Kim Jong Un. Is that supposed to be Kim Jong Un? Will put Canada under his protection. Yes, cannot wait.
There you go.
All right. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye, David.
For the great conversation. Thank you for the super chats. Good night.
Nice chatting, David. Take care.
It was good to have you and see your face.
Yeah, it was the first
thank
episode with
you.
all of us together.
I'll try to
in a
come
little
back
while,
in the
right?
next month or so.
Yeah.
I'll be here next week probably.
Okay, sweet.
We're all together again. It's like a family.
All right, who wants to go next?
Me, you already know what it is. I gave David grace because he's been, needing his time. So go ahead, run it. Run
we
it.
need to keep him happy so he doesn't disappear.
We need to keep him
forever
happy
for
so
the
we can
week.
see him next week.
The diva.
I'll try to keep up on the back end here.
Okay,
when
so
he
I'm going to
does his
start
super chats is his version of the only brown M&Ms or something like that.
Yeah. Like make and I love it for him. But we'll start with Parker. Say yay, super chats are back for Rebecca are back because they stay gone every 2 weeks. I had to fight for my life this time around. Okay, I had to reach out to the people past because I got denied. I had to tell them this is me. They told me I wasn't me again. That's the whole thing. It's not you. It's not you in your work on your page. And I had to do a whole video. It just fighting for my life every time. I hate it
because I'm
impersonating. Is that why?
I gotta. They tell me it's it can't be me, and I feel like the person who reviewed it this time saw the type of content that I do because usually when I save the video for as many times as they have demonetized me, I just resend that same video in or something, whatever. But this person was like, "That ain't you," and I said, "So that's not me in the video that I made."
Weird.
So then
That
I
means you
emailed
probably got
that
an
to
AI
someone.
response or something.
Yeah, the first one was, and then it was a reviewer that probably because I feel like you don't know if your reviewer is pro-Trump or whatever, anti-black. You don't know. So that's what I don't like about the YouTube space. But I had to fight for my life and send it out because when I tried to put in the request by email or by chat, it said that my page didn't exist, and this is when I was streaming with y'all. It said that my page didn't exist. So I had to act like it was another issue. And then it said my page existed. And I had to tell them what the issue was. And the man was like, I am so sorry this is happening to you. He knew what was up. He did.
That's good. That
And so he
personally,
he personally fixed it for me. So we'll see how long
if it makes
lasts.
you feel any better, Rebecca, I still haven't gotten my TikTok account back. It was hacked like a month ago.
Do you even? Oh, a month ago. I'm like, do you even like TikTok? Do you use it?
Oh, I love TikTok. Yeah. I mean, I
Oh.
didn't have a lot of followers or made a lot of TikToks, but like it's funny. All they did was change the name, and they haven't touched it or anything.
And
I
it
think
was
it's just
hacked?
a bot. Yeah, if you search, like if you look, there's like a bunch with the same username and different numbers of just a bunch of accounts that were just taken over, and that's it. Like
Oh,
it's like
no.
yeah, it's very stupid, but whatever. I created a new TikTok account. It's annoying.
Yeah, I'm not creating a new page until I feel like it's my time to create a new page. Y'all gonna grow this
Yeah.
page, and every time I'm like, y'all gonna monetize it and keep. I'm not about to keep on playing with y'all. But Cyborg Manifesto, thank you so much. Sending you love, Rebecca. I agree with everything you say. Do you though? But I love you. Thank you so much for your support. AK, thank you for your $20 super chat. Facts, Rebecca. Thank you for always being so outspoken. I love to see your passion. Thank you. Not Los 2. Thank you so much for your super chat. Send in super chats, mother fathers. I like that. Again, not Los once again. $5 dono via old grease. Thank you, Parker. Al Green gives permission to dance. He deserves it. Absolutely.
He's earned
He get
it.
permission
Yeah.
to do whatever he want with that cane with the gold tip. You get permission to do whatever you want with your pip cane. Just whatever you want to do. Like continue to do you. Comrade Junkie, Obama is my favorite war criminal too. Not you. Oh my God.
I like that.
Okay. You ain't really had to put it like that. I do miss the man, but that's kind of just the damage of being an American president. Facts. Doing those war crimes and other things. But yes, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I do actually agree with that. No, and then I did get somebody who sent in a Cash App. It's such a sweet message. Let me see. Some moral support from stranger friend, Mariah. I don't want to give your full name because I have a habit of doing that, and y'all full names be on here and it be your government. And yeah, sorry, but thank you so much. You're not a stranger friend, you're family friend. Thank you, Mariah. I appreciate your donation. All right, I'm out, y'all. I am
I think
tired.
you got
It's
one
been a
more,
long week.
Rebecca.
I got one more.
I think so, unless that's for Ariana. From King
It
Jill.
might be for
a
Ariana.
super chat?
It didn't come from me.
Okay.
I don't think it did, but Let me make sure. Oh, it did. You right. I see you. Family in the house. King Jill, what's up? Who are you? Do we know each other for real? But shout out to King Jill. Thank you so much for your super chat. All right. I love you guys. I will see you guys on next Thursday with the whole
Take care.
Love you, mean it. Bye.
Bye, Rebecca.
Bye.
Okay, can I just go through mine really quick? I got like maybe 6 or 7.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Comrade Junkie, here's a $5 for my favorite fake Gen Z Mafia member. It suggests Ariana Jasmine age when looking up for your channel, so watch out for the perverts. Okay, good to know. Thank you so much for the $5. Tenlon Gnomes, think of the Dems oh my god, I don't know why my brain just freeze. Think of the Dems can challenge the state of the emergency over fentanyl. They might overturn tariffs as well. Fuck if I know at this point. But thank you so much for the $5. I appreciate it. AK, $20. AK has been sending everyone money, so thank you so much, Ariana. Wow. I love having you on the Leftist Mafia. I know they've been sending everyone $20. The way you light up when you have some hot tea or new gossip makes me feel like I'm amongst family. Period. That makes me so happy. Thank you so much.
That's cute.
That was really cute.
That.
Yeah,
I love that.
That was really cute. Thank you so much. Cyborg Manifesto, I hate the Democrats because they wasted our time for years and stood as obstacles to change and what citizens actually want. We've been swindled and now we're fucked. I agree. I just think they really used issues like Roe v. Wade and stuff to make more money and get more funding. I just don't really think they ever took things seriously because Obama could have codified Roe v. Wade his the two first years of his term, but he didn't because he was scared he wasn't going to get reelected. So,
but the parliamentarian.
We didn't have to be here, but thank you so much for the $10. Bay Photo, $5. Newsom really is the West Coast liberal DeSantis. The base might like him, but the country doesn't want him. He would never win a race. He just wouldn't. I mean, obviously in the blue states, he would get all the electorals and all the votes, but he's not gonna sway the swing votes like whatsoever. Looney Tunes, but thank you for the $5. Looney Tunes, thank you so much for the $2. Thanks for being such a great mod. Trans rights are human rights, period. I agree. Cask, thank you so much for the $2. Cask, again, please do more live phone baking. Not only is it entertaining, I think it's educational for viewers. It'd be fun to see each of you make calls in the future episodes. I completely freeze unless I have a script in front of me, so I don't know if I'm the best member to do it, but like y'all should take that on.
I'm happy to do more. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we could do like a couple of reps every week or something. I don't know. I'm
down. Yeah.
That'd be cute.
You can make some recommendations. We can call your reps maybe. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, I think we should. Fudgy Boot and Link. Oh, and then we could make up a lore for the week, like, oh, you're a farmer.
Oh, I love that idea.
Yeah. Or like, oh,
Smart.
my parents hosted a party for Obama or something like that, Just
love that.
Make shit up. Fuggy Boot and Ling, thank you so much for the $5. Great to see the full cast here for the first time in weeks. By the way, bought free range eggs for $7 yesterday in Canada, $4 for the unhappy chicken. Well, that's crazy. A box of a dozen of eggs is like $15 where I'm at, and I'm in the Bay Area. So
God damn. I don't think I've bought eggs for like months, so I have no idea what they are. I haven't even looked. I should check next time though. I'm not a big egg person.
I don't know. San Francisco Bay Area is the most expensive area in the U.S. to live.
That's
New York
true.
NYC is right after us, but I don't know if I'm a great marker. But thank you so much for the $5. Victoria, thank you so much for becoming a member. I really appreciate it. Sarah P, $5. So good to see the full crew in effect tonight. Thank you so much for the $5, and I appreciate it. I totally agree with you. Parker, $5. Mark Lamont Hill is debating Brianna Wu right now on trans people in sports. I wonder if Cenk will ever condemn her for calling his nephew a terrorist. I did not know Mark Lamont Hill was doing that.
It's Cenk, like with the J.
Cenk, sorry.
Yeah.
I say his name wrong all the time. That's bad.
Wait, where are they debating right now?
Probably on Mark Lamont's channel.
Are they?
I'm gonna watch that. Mark Lamont is amazing. He's one of my favorite.
Yeah, he's
debaters.
a great debater.
Yeah.
He's a
He doesn't let people get away with shit in debates.
True.
Agrees.
He does not let I would watch Mark Lamont Hill and Gavin Newsom 100%.
Wait,
I don't
does
think
anyone does anyone want to watch this right now? I want to watch this. I want to just throw it up right now. I
have to go.
I don't want to watch it right now.
I will watch it.
I want to see this right now.
He's a great educator.
Go ahead.
Last one, Lars, $5. Did you see Ethan Klein docs a random Instagram commenter on stream and had no consequences? Yes, I did, which was crazy because that commenter, like, he got so many threats. His family got threats. His extended family got threats. It was fucking crazy. And someone else just sent me a $9. Thank you so much for the 5. Eye of the River, thank you so much for the $9. Here, come to Canada and buy a 30 egg box with that. I would love to come to Canada. I would love to come.
Maybe that's where we should have the first IRL show.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Instead of New York, you can come to Canada and you don't have to worry about the planes crashing.
A train trip to Vancouver is much faster than a train trip to New York for me.
What do you mean I don't have to worry about planes crashing? Didn't that plane and it came from America and landed in Toronto, but upside down, right?
But it came from America. Is my point.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, we should all do an IRL stream at some point. Like,
no, I agree.
At some point.
For a while.
Maybe we'll go to Oregon because Mike doesn't go on planes, but like we gotta make it happen.
Oh yeah, I forgot you don't fly. Well then Vancouver would make sense because you can actually travel here.
Yeah, I mean, if I could take a train, that'd be ideal. Because I don't want to. I could take a train to New York. It would take 3 days, so that's not ideal. I'm definitely not overcoming my fear of flying now with the FAA being deregulated.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, or not regulating, I should say.
It's okay. We'll come to Vancouver and we'll get some maple syrup too. We'll put it in our luggage.
There we go. I would love to go to Canada. I want to spend money in Canada. I want to
Guys,
shower
let's do
Canadians
it.
with
Like
love.
I'm for real down. Like we can rent a studio and we'll just do it live. Like that sounds so lit.
Rent the studio. We should do it in a venue where people could come.
Yeah, we could do it in a venue with an audience. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That'd be super fun.
Watch 2 people show up. Cool.
Well, I was like, I'd start with a humble, maybe I can look into 100-member audience, like humble, small little crowd thing, and not a like stadium or something like that.
I don't know anything really about Vancouver, so I don't know if there's an audience there.
I mean, listen, even if we get 3
There's at
people,
least
we
10.
can just go to a bar and say fuck it. Like
Right, we'll just hang out. Yeah, there we go. That'd be fun.
Just please don't be weird. All right, guys. Thank you so much for having me. I came in here very burnt out and tired, but you guys rejuvenated me. So
I'm happy to hear that.
Great conversation.
Thank you.
I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah,
it's good to know that
it's
good to know my late 30-year-old self could rejuvenate a 20-year-old.
Okay, that was
the way you said that.
I just said don't be weird.
I did not mean it like that. I meant
that sounded like a title.
I meant no. Oh boy. All right.
You even said Bender to ruin something. Like I was trying to have a cute moment with y'all.
Yeah, it was adorable. I was like, oh,
I
nice.
did not mean it that way at all. I wasn't even thinking.
No.
And now I'm quite thankful that at least I didn't peg you as younger just to be funny.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I'm just fucking with you. Okay, guys. With that being said, I am out. Have a great night.
You too.
Bye, everyone.
Take care.
Thanks. Bye.
Oh God.
All right.
Super quick.
Sure.
Yeah. I already got them queued up, so I'll go super fast.
All the people in the chat, you're all sick. You're all sick, all right? I didn't even my brain's not even thinking that way, you sickos. It was a joke about old man being more energetic than the young woman.
You're making it worse.
Yeah.
God. That's not how I mean it.
Don't try to explain anymore.
Yeah.
Sickos.
Now.
Sickos.
AK, thank you for the $20. Exceptional job on the Jimmy Fallon video essay. I plan to watch it again tonight. Anyone who hasn't seen it, check it out. And yeah, I worked a long time on a 1 hour
can't wait to
Jimmy
see
Fallon
that
documentary. If you love or hate Jimmy Fallon, highly recommend it. Go to youtube.com/the Serfs TV and go check it out. I'm very proud of it. I think you'll
your
all enjoy
documentaries or your extended like video essays, Lance, are fucking bangers.
Oh, thank you.
They're very good. I will be watching that.
Cyborg Manifesto, thank you for the $10. As an American, I feel an obligation to apologize and offer this small token. Apologizing is one step closer to being a Canadian, so you officially have a passport now. Dub Ninja, thank you for becoming a member. 10 Law Gnomes, thank you very much for the $5. This tariff ping pong is wrecking the U.S. auto industry. Mere uncertainty is causing future project delays, and the EU demands that EVs are already behind. I think also I read somewhere that apparently when cars are manufactured, sometimes they go back and forth between the border up to 9 times in different development phases, which means with tariffs, that'll be fucking obscene. But yeah, keep going, Trump. Sam Rocher, thank you for the unbelievably generous $100 dono. This video is from Bernie 2 days ago. Was the only hope I'd seen in a year. We need to show people a way out of this hell. There's a future we can get to, and this is actually really close in sight. Just a few old racist men kick out of the way. More than a few. Lot of old racist men, but everyone can be consumed is what Mike and Binder have been teaching me, is to eat everyone. Yes. My YouTube just crashed from refreshing that, so I'll just say thank you for Booyah 69 for the Prime, and thank you for the raids, Kevin Logan and No Justice MTG. I just reloaded my YouTube, so I don't know why that happened, but thank you to Brasmo for the $5. Can somebody please post a link to the graphic of the Democrats who voted for censure with the phone numbers one more time? I want it on screen. I don't know, Mike, if you can do that.
Oh, yeah. Also, can you send that to me too? I want to share
Post
that
it.
around.
Sure. I did retweet it on my Twitter as well, in case you all wanted.
Oh, okay,
sweet.
Retweet you.
Yeah.
Max Danger, thank you for the $5. The EU Commission Twitter account posted a pic 18 hours ago that looks suspiciously like a cursed image. I'm losing it. I will check that out. The EU Commission Twitter. Let me write that down. Rachel Atwood, thank you very much. Canada is not, in fact, Wayne's World, Mr. Myers. It is not. Political Poppy, thank you so much for the $20 euros. I guess not dollars, 20 euros. Good morning. And left is still best. I agree. Jeremy Haig, thank you for being a member. Will you read this? I did. Toka Oroku, thank you for the $2. Lance is better looking than dumb Jimmy Fallon. I appreciate that. I said in the video that 5% of the time people compare me to Jimmy Fallon, and 95% of the time they compare me to Brendan Fraser. And if people
why do they compare you to Jimmy Fallon?
I don't know. My soul, I die inside though. It kills me.
Nothing like Jimmy Fallon.
No, Brendan Fraser is way more spot on.
Yeah,
yeah. I appreciate that. Yeah, he's at least, revitalized himself from being the worst trash producer in cinema to an Academy Award winning actor. So that one's better. Comrade Junkie, I didn't forget my favorite Canadian. I appreciate you. And my very last one, Looney Tunes 9000. Thank you for the $1.99. Solidarity Canada and buy Canadian products. I appreciate that. Take it away, y'all. And I'll say goodbye. I'm going to stay for a bit, but I might have to dip out because I got to take Chico out. So I'm just going to say I love you both, and I may leave, but I will stay for a while.
Bye, just in case I don't get to say it. Okay. Do you want to go first, Matt, or do you want me to go?
Do you have a lot?
Oh,
I'll just go. All right.
Okay.
You want to pull them up for me, or?
Sure. Tell me your first one, and then I'll try to follow along.
Sure. Chris, aka Cult of Personality Birch, with a member for 1 month supporter super chat. Everyone call Jared Moskowitz and tell him he's a shill for Israel and a goddamn coward for voting to censure Rep. Al Green. 10 Democratic establishment fucks. Comrade Junkie with a $5 super chat. As a guy from New Jersey that works in NYC, please do a better job with your mayors. With your mayoral race, please. Cuomo can't be it. I'm trying. We don't have a good track record, so don't look at us like we're going to pull it off. But New York City, come on. I agree with you. We got to step it up. Donald James with a member for 19 months super chat. 19 months and counting. Cheers. Thank you, Donald. Bradley Plett with a $5 super chat.
Sec.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Oh, okay. Caught up. Okay, next one.
Yep. Bradley Plett. Could I get a tip on how to engage with my brother who is convinced that supporting crypto is the key to freedom from corruption? Well, I mean, geez, where do you even begin? Ask him if that's the case. Well, is he a Trump supporter? Ask him if
Tell
that's
him
the
to
case.
watch The Line Goes Up. It's a documentary.
Tell him to watch The Line Goes Up. Ask him why so many people get scammed in crypto. Ask him why so many people who create their own cryptocurrencies rug pull other people. If that's the freedom to from corruption, I don't know exactly how that is. Yeah. Ask Cowell. I would have to know more about him to give you a better answer. Ask Cowell Chuck with the super chat. Is this the supporter group for people who want to punch 90-year-old men in the face? I mean, you probably better find that. You're looking for the directions to the Humanist Report YouTube channel.
No, only Nazis.
S. Kowalczyk with another super chat. My favorite Boney M song is Brown Girl in the Ring. AK with a $20 super chat. Thank you so much, AK. Nice job on the Majority Report today. I enjoyed seeing you alongside Emma. It is always a pleasure to be with Emma, Matt Leck, and Bradley. Brandon wasn't there today, but also a pleasure to be with Brandon as well. Bay Photo with a super chat. In a few days, there's going to be a media leak that Dems are furious that their constituents are calling them and telling them to resign, Queen. Oh my God, if there was like an internal Democratic leak to the press and the quote specifically uses one of Mike's calls, I will fucking laugh so hard that I might not be on the show for as long as David's not been on the show prior to today, because I'll be in the hospital from laughing so much. Rachel Atwood with the super chat. Cenk is going to endorse Gavin in 2028, isn't he? Ooh. Foresto Montero with a super chat. Things are so bad, my libbed up NPR listening boss is rooting for another Luigi and shit talking the Democratic Party now. Wow.
There was another Luigi event in Oregon, by the way. The CEO of a particular healthcare company, I can't remember which one, their house was shot by somebody. That person is still at large.
Why would you shoot the house? You could get like family members and shit.
Yeah, I don't know. They just there's only footage of them. It's like black and white, and you can't make out who it is. But that's like the latest one that I saw. It happened like last week, so I don't have all the details for it. I just like browsed by it and saw it. So yeah.
Escal Chuck, another super chat. Too many pundits, not enough artists. Another one from Escal Chuck. Wow, thank you so much. All of these pundits just start sounding like each other after a while. Aren't you glad you're not an internet flibbergibbet? Seems like a nightmare to me. Flibbergibbet, that's the word they used. I've never heard that one either. Tokyo Hans with a super chat. So when are we going to get Charlie Kirk on the show? I mean, I would have Charlie Kirk on the show, of course, but you wouldn't get what you got out of the. I would have. You all know I would talk to any right winger, but you would not get a conversation like you got with Gavin Newsom and Charlie Kirk. Colt Dog with a member for 19 months super chat. It's so disgusting that Newsom lets this maniac control the conversation. All the shit Trump is doing and Newsom just rolls over like a coward. It is very bizarre that was his show because Charlie Kirk took the lead.
He knows what he's doing.
Incredible. 10 Lawn Gnomes with a super chat. What are the polymarket odds on J.D. Vance getting mad at the staffer who has to explain why people make memes of his huge baby face? Colt Dog with a super chat. Shut the fuck up about Red Dead Redemption, Mike. LMAO.
I'm sorry.
Cyborg Manifesto with a $10 super chat. What do you think about the Tesla protests? Unfortunately, I haven't seen much about them. I know there were. Keep at it. Keep at it. Tesla is not doing good. They're losing. I mean, I'm sure with Musk in Trump's administration, he will bail out Tesla or give Tesla some lucrative contracts. But their sales are dropping around the world. In Germany, I believe the sales Tesla sales dropped by like 76%. In Australia, I think it was like something like 72% drop. Overall in the United States, I haven't seen numbers, but I know in California, over the whole entirety of 2024, sales dropped by like 12%. And Musk is still doing what he's doing and probably doing it. Obviously, I should say doing it more so than ever before. So it should only hurt Tesla even more going forward, but I guess we'll see. Who knows? Tokyo Hans with a super chat. Isn't Messi famous? Oh, I read this one. Thank you, Tokyo Hans, about the Messi one. That was really good. Wanda with a $5 super chat. Our Baltimore Center Stage Theater refuses to comply with federal funding anti-DEI guidelines. So proud to live here in Maryland. Yeah, any company that's doing that. I do like, I don't want to say I respect that company, but they're doing more than others. So I appreciate that. Rachel Atwood with a super chat. How long till Cenk's family stops talking to him? I mean, you mean Hassan? I don't know.
Or Cenk.
Looney Tunes 9000 with a super chat. So remember, kids, the moral of our story is force Anna and Cenk to arm. They are MAGA supporters. Also, Binder, enjoy Skype before it shuts down. Yeah, I know Skype is shutting down, and I use Skype for all my. Yeah, in
permanently.
May, it's shutting down permanently. And that's what I use for all my interviews and all my call-ins before I had a phone line.
Switch to Discord or something else. There's apparently an open source one everyone keeps bugging me to use, Binder. We should look into it because I want to start doing like a call-in show or something like that.
I would love to do call-ins.
Yeah, okay, maybe all three of us can do it.
The reason I use Skype is because the streaming software I use, Ecamm Live, it has a built-in Skype integration where basically like the second the person calls me, it just pulls the call up into Skype. I don't have to like fix the window or the framing. It's just we're side by side.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, super easy. So I got to figure out what to do. Obviously, I won't be using Skype anymore because it's not going to exist.
That's fair. All right, I got to leave, but keep going.
All right,
take care.
All right, Lance, take care. Let's see. Kitten in a bowl. With a super chat. Stand up for science protest tomorrow. All 50 states. I'll be bringing water and snacks to pass out at the protest. Oh, I haven't heard about this. I'm going to look it up. Stand up for science. The Lumpen Lodge with a super chat. Behind efforts to destroy the Department of Education is Thomas Massey, who I ran against as an independent socialist in 2022, ran unopposed in 24. Pathetic Dems.
Wow.
Oh boy, yeah. Thank you for running though, and at least offering up something. Colin O'Connor with a super chat. 100. I think this is Thailand's currency. How do you maintain your own self-care? # not straight edge. I've never been a drinker. I've never done drugs, so it's admittedly a lot easier to not do those things when you don't have an addiction or a calling to it. I mean, I've never even smoked, so it's never appealed to me. I always found it gross. Again, if that's what you do, I'm not judging you. I'm just saying for me. But also, I'm not Mr. Healthy either. I drink a lot of soda, a lot of caffeine, a lot of unhealthy fast food, a lot of McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, Taco Bell, Domino's, Papa John's, you name it, I eat it. So I do have my own vices. I'm not, so yeah.
Do you want to take over real quick while I run to the bathroom?
Oh yeah, sure. Let me just look where I am. Hold on.
Okay, I'll be right back if not.
All right, cool. Where are we at here? Uh-oh. I cannot find where we are. This is not helpful. I don't think I can take over. I think we just have to wait for Mike to come back. Uh-oh. Oh, boy. Let's see. I'm sorry, folks. This is riveting streaming, isn't it? I'm looking for Colin O'Connor's name in the super chat library over here. All right, we're just gonna have to wait for Mike to come back. So how you guys all doing? How you guys all doing today? Let's read the chats as they come in. Angelo to death says Matt Binder is the greatest. I tried Control F. It doesn't come up because you got to scroll down and it only searches the ones that are right there in the that are visible. My LOL Mike and Carrie Lake says Hagen. Yes, that's very true. Mike's back. Okay, I could not find the.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was trying to be quick just in case you couldn't.
So I was just shooting the shit for a minute. So I'm at Greg Wright with a super chat. Town halls with cardboard. You found it?
There we go.
Town halls with cardboard cutouts. of absent Republicans. That could be good. Yeah,
That's a good idea.
Greg Wright with another one. Mock cardboard town hall speeches. Emery McClendon. Nominal Times, the super chat. Call to action. Be an election worker. Elections might be effed forever. I used to be an election worker when I was, as soon as I could, when I was 18. And then I was doing elections. I was working elections. And let me tell you, literally, it's all older people. So if you're a younger person, you should definitely do it because, when I worked, it was a lot of them miscounting because, for some of them, their eyesight isn't so good and they, you got to tally up the numbers. It's when I was doing it, it was still the machines. It wasn't the computer scanners. I stopped doing it because I started doing this, and my election night is now doing something else than working in the polls. It's a good time. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed talking to people as they showed up. Lizzie Bennett with a super chat. Gavin Newsom or Kathy Hochul? Who's the worst governor? At this point, I gotta say Gavin Newsom. Strictly for this reason, the Charlie Kirk thing. I mean, at least Kathy Hochul's out there saying, Trump, you could take congestion pricing from my cold dead hands. Like she's at least doing something. Gavin Newsom just rolled over. Major Laser with a super chat. Matt, you rejuvenated this 40-something-year-old dude. You earned this donation. Hell yeah, baby. I'll rejuvenate anybody, no matter what their age is. Well, I shouldn't have said that either. I'll rejuvenate anyone 25 and older. There we go. Oh my God. Fred J. Walsh with a $10 super chat. Matt, you rejuvenated this 50-something-year-old dude, but not quite as much you did the 40-year-old dude. Because I'm old. Mike, please don't hate. Will Def check Lance's Jimmy Fallon doc. Al Green rules. Yeah, I will. Listen, I'll rejuvenate anyone in their 40s and 50s and their 60s, 70s and 80s. Possibly 90s. Jeremy Haig with the super chat. Leftover crack. Yes, I'm wearing the shirt now. I just have a hoodie on right now. Red Brown with a $10. Oh, Fred J. Walsh gave me $10 too, by the way. Thank you so much, Fred. Red Brown with a $10 super chat. Keep up the good work, brother. I appreciate it.
Alrighty, I'll take it from the top here. Thank you to Carrie for becoming a new member. Comrade Junkie with 5. Be nice about the technical difficulties. It's their first podcast. Also, David isn't dead. Here's some money, Meg. Thank you so much. Donald James, thanks for being a member. John Lithium, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. Really appreciate that. 10 Lawn Gnomes, thank you for the 5. Doge thinks CIA black sites are DEI and tried to sell one. Peak government efficiency, so much winning. Yeah. Bay Photo, thank you for the 10. Dems should have walked out with Al Green. Their quiet complacency gave Trump the upper hand, allowing him to dunk on them over and over again. Don't even get me started on Dems that voted to censure. Yeah, it's so frustrating. Rolando, thank you for the 5. I like David Pakman, but his indifferent reaction to Rep. Green's protest was appalling. He should know that you don't combat fascism with civility.
I mean, David Pakman's indifferent reaction to Israel in Gaza.
The genocide,
is appalling. I mean,
yeah, I agree.
I'm sorry. He's,
he's just more of a liberal.
On domestic issues, I'm sure he's fine. But yeah, I'm sorry. Just
we have different ideologies.
Howard Stern
here.
likes him though, so if Howard Stern's getting his news from David Pakman, I guess it's preferable to Howard Stern getting his news from some MAGA guy. But Howard Stern's a big old lib, isn't he? So I mean,
he's very, very lived up. Yeah, like he's more of a normie Democrat. Thank you so much to Calliope for becoming a member. Bayphoto, thank you for the 2. They'd boot Johnson as speaker before censuring MTG. Probably. Tin Man, I want to call those 10 the new Dixiecrats. I like that, yeah. AK, thank you so much for the 20, donating to everybody. Very kind. Mike is so sassy. Nice job on the calls. Hey, thank you. 10 lawn gnomes. Make sure you tell one of the Congress people to stub their toe. I don't wish anybody to stub their toe. That hurt really badly. I wouldn't do that to their faces. I'll just quietly wish it on them. Venetia, thank you for the 20 pounds. Excellent phone calls. I'm like, hey, glad that you appreciated them. Comrade, I break under the pressure of leaving a voicemail. You fucking crushed it. I'll stick to emails. Is there a way to record and play these 2 reps? I'm not really sure, but hey, whatever makes you feel the most comfortable. Email works as well. As long as you're trying to get your voice heard, I'd say go for it. Sam, thank you for the member chat. MLK is rolling over his grave. WTF would a Dem mention Reagan in their response to 47? All these corp Dems asses need to be primaried and gotta go as soon as possible. Yeah, I'm with you. Lionizing Reagan in 2025 is just awful. AK, thank you for the 20 to David. Glad to have you back on Leftist Mafia. You were definitely missed. This one also to David as well. Thank you, Cyborg. Donna, thank you for the 2. This was also to David. Okay. Zainab, thank you for the 5. Nice to see you, Zainab. Brand new Congress tried to unseat people like Swazi. The DNC fought progressives. Time to organize outside of electoral to fight bipartisan fascism. Thank you, Zainab. Nice to see you again. Zia, a white supremacist needing everything in his space, being the same color, unheard of. Yeah. T-Boy, Gavin Newsom just lost all my respect, sounding like an off-brand jank. Yeah, I mean, it's funny how he's going down the same path. Tiger, thank you for the 5. Gavin and Charlie are bonding over bigotry from the aspect of whiteness, white supremacy. He just tanked any chance of higher office. I hope so. I hope that this is the nail in the coffin of his political career. At least going any higher than where he's at. Brady, Gavin Newsom on his knees caught in 4K. Yeah, that was a sloppy one. That was gross. Chris Corcoran, as one of Slotkin's constituents, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry to you that you got to deal with that, Chris. Wolf, Butch Ware for California Governor 2026. Fuck blue and red MAGA. Adam, thank you for the 5. As Franny said, what is the difference between Mayweather being a man or a woman? He is still beating women anyway. Yeah, sad but true. Nintendo Gaming Channel. Question from Mike, Matt, the Rebecca Ariana. Do you expect South Park mocked MAGA cult Elon Trump family 2025, 2029? I have no idea. I haven't watched South Park in a couple of years. I kind of got bored with the whole what was it? Integrity Farms shit. It was just, I don't know. I just felt like it was kind of getting stale. I mean, they should. It's a target-rich environment, so they should. Cyborg, thank you for the 10. Mike, how do you feel about the prospects of queers on the West Coast? Are we organizing? Are we safe? So I'm starting to see a lot of local queer activism pop up in different communities. I do see queers organizing firearms training classes in Portland and around Portland. I would recommend going to that. It's a good way to meet people, other queer people who want to protect themselves. And even if you don't want to learn firearms, just like getting to know other people who are in a similar situation is, I think, really important. Like being able to lean on each other, it goes a long way. So I would say, I think that the West Coast, I feel good being in the West Coast as a member of the community for sure. House of Cardboard. I'm not families with Jillian Michaels. Is she trans? As far as I know, Jillian Michaels is cis.
Oh yeah,
Carp.
Yeah.
Carp, think of it the 2. They call it physiognomy these nowadays. I cannot say that word. My brain will not let me say it nowadays. Mike, yes, okay, referring to Josh Schreiber's gay skull shape. Okay, good to know. Terry, thank you for the 10. As a trans person moving for safety, I'm taking estrogen for better mental health and enjoyment in life, not to tie for 5th place with the bigot in swimming. They're focused on the wrong 1%. 1000%, Terry. Yeah, they don't understand that gender affirming care is medically necessary healthcare that is life-saving. They are ignorant and stupid, and everything that they say further proves how stupid and ignorant they are. Absolutely 100%. And yes, they are focused on the wrong 1%. Solidarity with you, Terry.
Absolutely.
Pax. Vishicrats. Dusty Partition. The Dems are scared of them, the fascists, but they're also scared of us, and they're right to be scared of both. Do we need to scare Dems more? You know, Dusty, I've got to say, I don't think they're scared of the left. I think they are scared of Republicans, but I think that they already know they can crush us pretty easily, at least like in their own institution and apparatus. But I mean, politicians should absolutely be intimidated by their constituents. You are their boss, and you have a right to be a very entitled, bitchy boss who's always on them, who's always asking them to do better, because you pay your tax dollars fund their salaries. So absolutely, they should absolutely they should be listening to you. Okay. Crotchy, think of the 2. Hakeem Jeffries, double agent for Republicans. Absolutely. I keep saying absolutely. But yes, you're all making good points. That's why I'm saying absolutely. Gotta increase the vocab. It's late though. Zainab, thank you for the 5. Dems normalized Trump by moving to the right. What's next? People can't keep just begging them to be an opposition party and voting for them anyway. Yeah, and I think that what we're going to see is more and more people, Zainab, are just going to tune out. Like in this election, Kamala did not get as much votes as Joe Biden. And I think that's a direct result of him doing a genocide and just not delivering. So I think that's kind of already happening, and it's only the Dems' fault. Lumpen Lodge. Lance, why am I still banned? I don't understand. I'll try to remember to ask him, Lumpen. Galactic, thank you for becoming a new member. MH777, Republicans use hate. Do Dems need hunger? ETR. Jackson, the problem with the Dems is the money. How do the Dems disassociate from the consultant class that exists everywhere that just begs for donations? I mean, having the inclination to do that would be a starter. Bernie does it. AOC does it. You don't have to take corporate money. They choose to do that because it's easier. Chris Corcoran, thank you for the 5. Look up a retelling of our country's story. I'll check that out. Lumpen Lodge, lived in Kamloops, BC, Peterborough, Ontario in college. I miss it, unfortunately, because of my DUI. Okay, this is the one that was read. Oops. Oh, I just, dang, hang on. I just accidentally deleted one.
Well, I hate when that happens.
Yeah,
You're never going to find it.
I can probably try. Let me see. I'm going to go up to Zainab. Okay, Zainab. Then there's Lumpen Lodge. Then there was... Okay, it was Jackson. I think it was Jackson. The problem with the Dems is the money. Okay, no, I read that one. I think it was Bay Photo. FYI, video is not showing for us. And then Tara says the same. Your videos haven't been showing up for people. Like in the subscription feed, are people having a problem with that? If that's happening, if you're referring to subscriptions. Okay, Tara sent me more info on Twitter. Okay, if it is subscriptions, click on the notifications. And if you already did that, unclick it and then re-click notifications and turn on all notifications and see if that makes a difference.
Like paid subscriptions or just regular?
No, just regular subscriptions.
I'm about to say,
it
Mike,
isn't.
running
Okay.
Oh, it's the paid subscriptions?
No. Okay, so it's,
okay.
Tara's talking about something different. So I'll have to check and I'll figure out what's going on. Thank you.
I was going to say, Mike running the ultimate grift. Guys, exclusive paid for content videos in the subscriber section. Subscribe right now. Become a paid subscriber. And then Mike's just like, it doesn't do anything. And he's like, oh, must be some sort of glitch. Just...
Well, sometimes I don't see videos from people I'm subscribed to as well. Could be I missed it. Sometimes it's just like YouTube. So, you know, my whole thing that I've been doing is I just turn off notifications or I unsubscribe and resubscribe. Usually that does it for me. I'm not sure though.
Someone said exclusive Zoom tomorrow. Is that true? You're doing that tomorrow? The Zoom?
Yeah, I'm doing the Zoom call. Yeah.
You should promote, folks. Mike does this monthly or bi-weekly? What is it?
I do it the first Friday of every month, except for next month. But yeah, it's a Zoom call.
Mike does a weekly Zoom call with his members. You should check that out.
and everybody jumps on camera with me. So it's like, it's not just me. There's like 20 people on screen, 30 people, usually not 30 people, but sometimes there's quite a bit of people on there, and we all just kind of talk over each other. It's fun.
Maybe one day I'll show up to rejuvenate all 50 of your subscribers.
I can send you the link and you could join. That'd be a really nice surprise. They'd love it. Okay, so Zainab says that Crockett also voted yes to funding genocide. Okay, so I'm case closed. She's canceled. I'm off the Jasmine Crockett train. I think she's an effective communicator and she's charismatic, but that right there is a no-go for me. Autistic Goblin, thank you for the 10. No TikTok until you do your damn homework. Right, in reference to the TikToks that the Congress people are making. Dirty Pirate 90, thank you for the 10. Greetings, fellow humans. This one's name is Hakeem. Yeah, that's what I get. Just uncomfortable in his alien or in his human skin suit. Like, so many politicians are like that, mostly Republicans, but a lot of Democrats are like that too. Galactic Mob.
What's extra hilarious is you have to really like look at it from his perspective here. He's saying, oh, like, guys, don't do what Al Green did. Don't do what the people holding up signs did. Don't protest. Don't do anything. It's going to turn off the American public. It's not what they want to see. You know what they want to see? These videos of me, baby.
I just can't fathom what goes through his head or the head of his staffers. Just so out of touch. God, it's crazy to me. Elon deliberately stalled the Caltran project in California. Yeah. Got that nice Hyperloop that he promised. Cyborg, thank you for the 10. If these dum-dums are going to dance, I'm going to need some Janet Jackson-style, military-style choreography in keeping with the gravity of the time. Yeah, right? At least make it appropriate. Carp, thank you for the 5. Is this what they call love bombing? 10 lawn gnomes. At this point, can we at least get Obama to apologize? Oh, that was one we read. Keith Murphy, in my lifetime, this is the first Republican regime that's anti-veteran and anti-federal worker. We usually get raises with Republicans not fired. I mean, Trump is, he's certainly, he's different. He's like a worse version of all the Republicans we've had in many respects. Fritza, thank you for the 5. The woman had an affair with her husband, and was she supposed to hold her hand and have tea time with her? Referring to Monica Lewinsky and Hillary Clinton. I mean, not necessarily. I understand, like, if I were Hillary, I would be hurt by that. But it's just about, like, the way that when I watched the TED Talk with Monica Lewinsky, what she really focused on was the way that the media in particular beat her up, not necessarily Hillary Clinton. I'm not sure what she said on the Call Her Daddy podcast, but the way she explained it was like she was raked over the coals and she, like, hated herself. She felt just awful and terrible, and Bill Clinton did not really get that same treatment. Most of the scrutiny that he received was based on how he lied, and not that he was like, promiscuous like she was. So it was like the way she described it was like the experience compared to male versus female in the same scandal, and how disproportionately she was fucked over by it. Justin, thank you for the 2. She did the Israel has the right to defend. Jasmine Crockett. Albert Who, damn it, Jasmine Crockett, you were the chosen one. It was said you would destroy the Zionists, not join them.
Why do people think this? She was just good. She was just outspoken against Trump. Like, she's not, I don't know what people thought, because she spoke out against Trump. She was like she had good politics, good policies, like.
I think that whenever a Democrat stands out for doing anything, it's like, oh my God, that person has to be good, right? Because the other ones are so bad, and we kind of like raise the expectations since the bar is so low. Maybe that's what's happening. I'm not sure.
Again, I'm happy that she's doing it. Like, I'll support her for doing that. I'll support that action of hers, and I'll defend her for doing those actions if anyone comes at her. But she's not someone I would like, advocate for in terms of like her votes and policy positions.
Mm-hmm. Carrie, thank you for being a member for a month. And then Chuck Reynolds, very, very generous $50 super chat. Thank you so much, Chuck. Y'all should have Peacefire now and Maple Takes on. Maple Takes will wear a moose costume if you have him on. And Peacefire now will do some karaoke. Seriously, love your show. Thanks for holding up progressive views on YouTube. Well, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm down to have them on for sure. I know that Lance has the connections to them, so yeah, maybe we'll have to bring them on at some point. I know we were gonna have on Desmond today, so we'll probably have Desmond on first. But yeah, thank you. Thank you for being a member, MH. Galactic, thank you for the 10. What's the matter? Trump voice dipped lower, his hands making slow, measured strokes down Vladimir's suit. Thought we had a deal. We do. Trump pulled him close. Let's seal it then. That was a very visual story. Not punk advice. Thank you for the 5. Here's the $5 that Chris Murphy was just asking for in the ad I skipped to get to the stream. Hell yeah. Love
That's
that.
good. I like that.
Northwest Nightmares Entertainment, thanks for being a member. Bert Handsome, thanks for the 5. Mike, please help. What the heck are sprunkies? And should I be worried that my kids are obsessed with them and drawing them all the time? I don't think so. I think that I think it's just a little cartoon thingy or like toys or something. I'm not sure. Seems innocent, so I would not be worried about that. Sherry Arthur, thank you for the $10. These corporate Democrats are shallow, vapid, and a bunch of troglodytes. I love this show, by the way. Thank you, Sherry. That means a lot. And yeah, I agree with you. I'm so sick of these Democrats. They are so fucking spineless. Jasper, thanks for the 10. The left need to start calling out the Republican Party and the Trump administration as a crime ring of white-collar criminals, and that's how they essentially function. That's true. I think that is effective framing, actually. So yeah, that is one way to call them out because that's accurate. Fuggy Bootling, think of the 2. Did you see Jon Stewart's WWE analogy on Zelensky? I did.
Oh, this one's for me.
Oh, okay. I saw that as well. I thought that it was, at first, I'm like, okay, this is a little bit redundant, move on. And then by the end, it was actually really funny the way he brought it back.
I didn't see it. I'll have to check it out, so I appreciate you bringing it up. WWE analogy on Zelensky. I got to check that Jon Stewart episode out.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a few more for me that just came in. I'm not sure.
Okay. Do you want to read those first before I do?
Sure. Cyborg Manifesto with a $10 super chat. Mike, you've rejuvenated this 80-year-old. God's work. I don't know why he sent this one to you. I mean, to me, but sent to you. And, oh, God, this one is too much. But I'm going to read it because it's really funny. Tokyo Hans with a super chat. Matt rejuvenating us and Chuck Schumer arousing us. This is going to be a hard 4 years.
Tokyo, what the hell? Why?
God,
God. Tokyo. Why would you do this to us?
Maybe I should have kept that. Maybe that should have been the final. The final I am. Okay, keep going.
All right, I've only got 3 left. Decipher. Thank you for the member chat. Let it be known my return was imminent. Love your work, Mike, all these years. Your coverage a sense. Thank you so much, Decipher. Always appreciate you. Zainab, I just want to say that Catalyze was a good read. That means so much. Thank you so much. I'm really pleased to hear that people are enjoying it. I was worried that it would be too boring, and it is a little bit boring, but I'm glad that people are finding some value out of it, for sure. Cyborg, thank you for the 20. Very generous super chat. Mike, you don't have to answer if it's uncomfortable, but do you believe the left should arm? I think it's not a bad idea, honestly. I mean, look, we're all Americans. We have Second Amendment rights. So you have the right to arm in self-defense. I think that some of these lefty like gun clubs, I'm blanking on the name of a really popular one right now. They do a lot of good organizing too. And also, if you look at the story out of Lincoln Heights, I talked about it a couple of weeks ago, but like there were Nazis that showed up and they tried to intimidate a majority black town. And then the residents there, they took up arms. They set up checkpoints to drive out the Nazis. And till this day, they still are patrolling the streets of their community to keep it safe from the Nazis. There was another, like, there was like a KKK flyer that somebody had left. Like, they really want to fuck with this community and try to intimidate them, but they have not backed down. They've been protecting their own community. And I think that that is actually very, very useful. If you don't feel like the authorities are going to protect your community, then you have a right to exercise your First Amendment. It depends on your state's laws. Some laws don't have open carry, others don't. Others do. It just depends. But yeah, no, I don't think it's a bad idea for the left to arm. Just make sure that you're responsible and make sure that you're not in a position where your mental health is bad and you might want to harm yourself or somebody else. Just like be mindful of those things for sure. But that's it.
All right. I got just a few on Twitch. It's literally like 3. Joey Bag of Donuts resubscribed with Prime, subscriber for 9 months. Thank you, Joey. Chadwick Von Mack resubscribed with Prime, subscriber for 9 months. Scratch a liberal and a fascist bleed, says Chadwick.
Right.
And Jeltzy subscribed with Prime. Thank you so much. Yeah, if you aren't using your Amazon, if you're subscribed to Amazon Prime and you haven't been using your Twitch Prime subscription, make sure you're using it, please. Give it to me, give it to Mike, whoever you want to give it to. Give it to someone. Just don't let Amazon and Jeff Bezos keep it, because if you don't use it, they keep extra money. It costs you nothing more. Forces Amazon to give a little bit of your Amazon Prime subscription to one of your favorite creators. So definitely use it. Twitch.tv/MattBinder, or go to Twitch and search whoever you want to give it to. All right, that's it for me.
Yeah, that's it. I've got nothing on Twitch.
Who should we raid?
Want to do Riverboat Jack?
Yeah, let's raid Riverboat Jack. Well, let me see where they are. All right, here we go. Let's do it. All right, folks. We will see you. Obviously, we'll see you online, and all of us together. We'll see you next week on Leftist Mafia. Hitting that start raid button. I gotta wait a second for it to fill
got
up.
one last chat here. Terry,
Perfect. Go ahead.
Curious, as I've been pondering my belief, would you consider yourself a socialist or a democratic socialist? Does any party support this framework? I consider myself a socialist, and there are parties that support the framework. They're just very, very small and don't have viability. But yeah, I'm socialist for sure.
Right. And I know you didn't ask me, but I consider myself to be an anarcho-capitalist. So, folks, we'll see you all next week. Did you press start raid?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, here we go. I'm pressing it.
All right. Take care, everybody.